And that's all stacked up. Yo.
How y'all doing, man? It's your boy, the Con Man, KJN_man.5 will know that's the Bay. Catch me on Universal The Base. Catch me on What It Sound Like podcast, where you get your best reviews and interviews. Catch me on the BLERD Cartel, you know we doing well. And catch me on BLERD Approved Entertainment on TapN No CapN, where basically if you're a BLERD and you've seen it, then what's your opinion? Jules, what's happening?
What's happening, man? It's your boy Strawhead Doofy. Make it do with it, Doofy, man. You can find me here, there, and anywhere else like air. Man, it's another episode of TapN No CapN, man. You can find me here on Fridays. You can find me on Universal Debaters or BLERD Approved Gaming on Facebook. And we back with another one, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and introduce yourself, the third judge.
Me?
You.
Okay, my bad. I'm super last minute on everything. For everybody listening, my name is Battle Junkies, OG Battle Junkies. Number one stop for fresh battles every day. Let me know what you guys think about my battles, and I'll drop more soon. Came here to see what it do.
Fine. Go ahead, and our foe are in our left corner. He's been known to talk the most shit. The man with the skins. The nigga with the hoodie. You feel me? Ready to make it do what it do. You feel me? Go ahead and introduce yourself, All Black.
Yo, what's good? I'm All Black. You'll catch me in and out the community. I do this debating shit, and it's going to be easy work. Today I'm representing Thor, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to my brother.
All right, in our right corner, man with the dreads, the man with the plan, Mr. BMT. Talk to him.
Hey, what's going on BMT? Business Minded Talk. Pretty much I'm just here just to do this easy debate. I don't see this dude as a threat or even as, I don't even know why we're doing this, but hey, we doing this to doggone get it off the way. Let's get this started, man. I'm gonna have to kill this dude off. So let's go.
Shots fired.
Okay. Jewel, you got a coin? You want to do a coin flip?
Yeah, I do. I do. All right, man. All
hey,
right,
if this is streaming on your, streaming on your platforms, man, make sure that y'all make it public, because when it goes onto y'all stream, it doesn't make it public. Just let y'all know.
All right, I got this coin. One side got 2 engravings, the other side got 4 engravings. A Chinese good luck coin, man. All black. 4 sides or 2 sides, crawling in the air.
Cool.
2 side. BMT, you want to go first or second? It's on you.
Go ahead. Give the elderly first. Go ahead.
You said the elderly.
Yeah, that's you, man. Your character's older than my character. Go ahead.
Oh,
you can know your history of your character.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You would have caught that reference.
With Kratos.
All right, well,
No,
he ain't about to go just yet,
kids.
but we know that you are going first.
right now.
Holy shit.
It's easy work, BMT. Easy.
Why are you still talking to me?
It's easy work.
I'm dead.
So we gonna do introductions, right?
All right, yeah. So we're gonna start off right here, man. With introduction to character, man. We got good God of War, Kratos, as you know. We got Marvel's comics, the Mighty Thor. And now we're gonna start off with my boy All Black, man. Intro to character. and we got Thor first. So Thor gonna be going first around this thing, man.
Oh yeah, this real quick, just give y'all a little background knowledge for the noobs, the casuals. Nothing too heavy.
Hey, make sure you
got
put
the
it on
scans up there?
time, bro. Let us know when you start so we can time it.
Shit, he got when I know the scans up, I know.
I got your 2 intro scans in.
I bet. All right, for sure. So yeah, today I'm representing Thor, Odin's son, current king of Asgard, fully amped by the All-Father, the Odin Force. So basically, right now, he's just coming into his prime officially. You see, it's the perfect passing of the torch. Yeah, see, it's gonna be easy work for BMT. We're gonna see what he brought.
That's it. Just all you gotta say about him. The intro.
Oh yeah, if you don't know what Thor is, you're sleeping.
He said, "If you don't know, you don't know."
Oh, that's your intro? That was quick? That's
Yeah.
it?
You know Thor, the Odin's son.
Damn, this is gonna be a quick one. All right, so yeah. So what's going on, everyone? This is BMT. I'm going to be representing that of Kratos, the God Slayer, the monster, the defier of prophecies, as well as fate itself. This is that of a god or a force of nature defined by both pantheons that is known to have slayed, destroyed, and have changed that of time, fate, and the universe and cosmos itself. This is the same type of being that throughout prophecy cannot be defined. It is very interesting that y'all must understand that of the nature of a deity or a force like Kratos. This is the type of man that was born through that of the blood of the most powerful god in the pantheon that literally by death itself cannot actually stop Kratos. The only thing that can define a nature as Kratos is that as the only thing that can kill a Kratos is a Kratos. So you must understand that the best way that I'm gonna break down everything to the ladder of someone that is chasing that of their father's approval to someone that does not give a shit for the God's love, for humanity's love, for anything but that of what he wants. This is the difference between a boy and that of an actual God. See, this is the thing about it. One is trying to seek approval of a pantheon that, if by a whisper, loses all smoke, versus that of an actual God that can give a shit for what his father had to say, for what the people had to say, for what the pantheons have deemed against him. The only way you can deal with a Kratos is don't fuck with a Kratos. So let's begin the match.
I can already tell you who up on the introduction. I can already tell who up on intro, but you know what I'm saying? That's right there.
The proof is in the pudding, man.
Hey, that intro was kind of saucy, my boy. You got to do better. You
all right.
Do better, bro. That shit was hilarious.
So, quick question: do y'all want to do a rebuttal round to introduction, or do y'all just want to go straight into the first round?
I'm all for rebuttal.
He already captain. It's funny.
Okay, so let me give y'all. You get 2 minutes to give a rebuttal.
Okay, go ahead. Quick. The only thing that can kill a Kratos is Kratos. Shout out Ares and that wooden stick. It's easy work.
Okay. What else?
What stick are you referring to?
When Kratos died. When he got killed.
Oh man.
Oh, Black, you gotta give more detail to go.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
God of War 2 and
maybe I'll help him.
Whatever ordeal Kratos was going through, he was easily dismissed by Ares.
Hold on, BMT, let him go. Let him get his shit off. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just that. This guy claiming he unkillable. I'm making sure there's no misinformation. He has no sort of divinity or divine protection that stops him from certain attacks. Ares disposed of him with a simple wooden spear.
Okay, is that all of your rebuttal?
Just for this intro, yeah.
All right, go ahead, BMT. Go ahead and get your rebuttal in.
So first off, in God of War 1, Ares didn't kill him with a stick. He actually picked up a pillar. He picked up a pillar, threw it at no, be quiet. You said you would have said picked up a pillar and threw it into that of Kratos' stomach. Kratos then proceeded to defy death and crawl out of hell. So he didn't kill him. If he can't, he crawled out of hell.
How do you go to hell if you die?
Hold on, wait. Rebuttal.
You can't do that, bro. You gotta let him talk.
He lied.
So you gotta understand. In killing that, if you had killed him or permanently had put him down, then he would have stayed down. He did not kill him. It actually strengthened him, because by that of going to hell, it added input that of Kratos. That's why I said Kratos is a force of nature to that of God's. The more you invoke his wrath of vengeance, the stronger Kratos gets. When he hit him with that, Kratos got that of Pandora's box, which Ares had. He took the Pandora's box, opened it up, and actually took the sword of Olympus and killed him right there in front of the statue of Athena. Now that's ironic that he used that of Ares, the same god that actually bested that of his character, Thor. So let's get this straight. The same guy that you used to say that killed me actually feared me, which was sent by Zeus, that actually tried to kill me. My character came out of hell in God of War 1 at the second to the last chapter, came out of hell and actually took the box of Pandora, consumed that of its power, and grew and actually attained that of the infinite power of the gods, and killed that of Ares, thus becoming that of the new God of War that the gods had to respect, that of his caliber of strength. Now, you would think that Thor, Odin's son, would know that of his enemies' demise, but I know that Ares beat you into submission. We know that. I mean, we know that. Did you forget that Ares beat you? All right, I killed him for you.
Do you have the scan? Do you have the scan?
No. See, I could tell
Sounds like false
you.
information.
You said a stick.
You didn't have the scan. You said he died. You can't do that.
He said he didn't die. He did. If you're no longer
when you said Ares beat him, and then look, you already cutting into his rounds, bro. You already said you can't keep doing that. I'm just saying, bro. You kind of backtracking because you said, well, where's your scan? You didn't have a scan to disprove what he said, so you can't say, hey, where's your scan when he bringing up feats? You feel me? Now, if you want to mention those things in your next rebuttal, you can do that, but right now you can't do that. All right, go ahead, finish up, BMT. You got, I would say you got like 15 more seconds, bro.
So pretty much that of the same God that literally even the grave digger in God of War 1 even said, digging that of a grave for you. Even the oracle said, Kratos, don't worry, your death will not stop here. It will actually continue. You have that yet of a mission. So it was already foretold that that was not going to stop him. It actually pinnacled him into that of his godhood. If Ares had not have done that, Kratos would have not been the god. So actually, all that was foretold that was going to happen. That's why the grave digger was digging that grave in the 3rd chapter of God of War 1. Into my rebuttal.
Okay. All right. That's the first introduction, y'all. We about to get into the first round. I'm assuming it's still on all black, right?
Right.
All right, man. Let's get that clock going. All black gets, what is it, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
3 minutes to talk about your weapons. That's the first round. Okay. Your weapons, armor, and how do you feel that these things can beat Kratos?
Basically, well, once you get on there, y'all gonna see Mjolnir. It's a weapon created by Odin that allows him to tap into the Odin forest and a multitude of Asgardian enchantments. And that scan, he had just simply reforged a new hammer completely. So even if he somehow managed to lose the hammer in his belt, which is unlikely, he could reforge it. This shows you this is basically what's inside of Mjolnir. Odin created Mjolnir by trapping what's called the God Storm. Basically, it's a cosmic cyclone that's sentient, and that basically allowed Thor to use a multitude of lightning powers and stuff. Also, in this scan, he's using it to destroy the universe after it's been taken over by the All Black. So that shows that the lightning already has universal range. In the other scan at prior, it showed that it can engulf the planet easily with lightning. Are you good?
Yeah, right.
See, that's easy work. Basically, I'm going to be using a lot of ranged attacks and my speed to get an advantage on Kratos. Lightning bolts from space, there's basically nothing he can do to react. This is just a very, very simple scan to show that Thor, without trying, can split large masses of land. This goes to show more to my tactic of Mjolnir summoning lightning in space. Going to be very good against Kratos in the range game. Now, this is where it starts to get beefy. So, if you don't know who Galactus is, that's basically one of Marvel's major big bads. If you go to the next scan, he's a multiversal... Oh, dang. That's more lightning. I messed up a little bit, but go ahead, one more.
Which one was it?
Actually, no. I'll do that on the other one. That's good for Mjolnir for now. Because strength and stuff is the other round here.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
I didn't really. Okay. All right, man. Well, I guess BMT.
Yeah, I got you. So I'm not going to name every weapon of God of War. That will literally take an hour time. I don't have time for that. I'm going to actually tear down to the list of stuff, and I'm actually going to actually send the pictures, even if he wants to challenge them. The Blades of Chaos. I'm going to name them real quick, and I'm actually go over. Blades of Chaos, Leviathan Axe, which actually rivals that of Mjolnir, which is actually quoted by that of the forgers of the dwarves who actually made his axe. That is actually that of the equivalent of the same weapon. So any weapon that Odin's son Thor uses, well, Thor can't call him Odin's son, uses, that axe is that of the equivalent of that same biotype. It actually is quoted by that of even the creators of God of War, that axe actually, if you play God of War, the final game where actually Thor and Kratos clash, literally the axe and that of the hammer both neutralize each other 2 times. Not only by that of Kratos, but also his wife. Sorry, spoiler alert. So that just let you know it didn't have to be just Kratos who did it. The axe itself is literally built to actually neutralize that of Thor's weapons. The next one would actually be the Blade of Olympus, absorbs gods and shatters that. Don't worry, you don't have to go anymore. Because it's going to get worse. It's going to get really bad for him. Shatters, absorbs gods, shatters reality. Eyes of truth, negate illusions and mind control. Oathstone allows him to make clones. Ouroboros, which he talks about, he can shoot from space, which is useless because literally Kratos can actually control time and space with that, and also is immune to that of any time manipulation. That is also done in God of War Ascension, as well as God of War, the newest one in 2016, as well as God of War 2022. Kratos is seen since God of War Ascension manipulating time as well as time dodging. Sun Shield of Helios to deflect all attacks. Any attack thrown at Kratos, he can deflect it. Sun Shield can deflect all attackers. Gauntlets of Zeus, that's very ironic, which are actually stronger and actually can manipulate that of lightning. That means lightning ain't worth the fuck around Kratos. Let's see, Poseidon's Trident as well as Icarus' wings allow him to have air as well as water manipulation. It doesn't hinder him, which is why whenever he gets hit, he's actually a lot versatile in actually changing that of his body, of that the centrifugal force like cats do in the air. It does not bother Kratos. So anytime you see Boulder or any game where Kratos gets knocked up in the air, you notice Kratos has the ability to change the way he is maneuvering through the air. Because guess what? He has that ability of that of a god. The next one is Claws of Hades. That is a very big game changer because those are the same claws that allow Kratos to absorb that of the souls of Titans, primordial forces of nature. Kratos can use those claws that actually can fight by themselves to absorb that of souls of gods and titans and any binding creature that it's so deemed. If your soul, if you find yourself unworthy or you don't have that of a binding force of nature, it will consume you. Talisman that are allowed. Again, he has more talismans to control time. This man is a time manipulation beast, which that if you also fight the Furies as well as different creatures from the Sisters of Fate to that when he was fighting that the sisters, the daughters who gave birth to Ouroboros, which actually he starts carrying the amulet as well as his wife's amulet. They all give him that appearing ability that he allows that of time maneuverability to dodge, freeze time, as well as the Bifrost amulet. This man is not a stranger to that. If you try to hit him, he can freeze time. This is canon in that of the lore of why time and space does not affect Kratos, because he controls that of time and space because he was consumption of that amulet. The final one is Hermes Boots, which allow him to travel at FTL. For those who don't know, faster than light. Wait, that's kind of a big game changer because, Hermes travels faster than light, which is that of Greek mythos and pantheon, that he is so fast that he can light up that of the heavens. That of the heaven, I hope you understand that is in that of a quintillion second. There is nobody in that of the Marvel universe that moves that of a nanosecond. That is how fast he moved. That you got to think this man outran time itself. That is why whenever in fight, he's always can do a time dodge. He can do time manipulation. Those are the weapons of Kratos. There actually are more of them, but I can't name all them damn weapons. He has actually over 50 weapons. Over 50 weapons. My opponent only has 3. I'm
well,
not going
technically,
wrong.
today he only has 1, but all right, bet.
So,
So,
say that.
I try to give him 3. I try to give him 3. He got an axe.
right.
One was
All right,
mentioned.
go ahead.
I was going to ask about that. We didn't hear about the axe. We didn't hear about,
Hey, you see, I gave him that. I at least gave him the axe.
I'm just saying. All right, man. So that's
gave
the
you that,
first
buddy.
round. Judges, y'all have any thoughts right now?
We don't get the rebuttal.
Oh, yeah, they got a rebuttal.
No, we're gonna give y'all a chance to rebuttal. I'm asking the judges. We've been real quiet. I just want to know how y'all feeling so far.
Go ahead.
You ahead, Drew.
We said the same shit. Afro Thunder. No, I was just gonna say, I feel like Thor is missing a lot of key points when you're bringing on what he has in his artillery. And going into the next rounds, I'm gonna need you to kind of, sell that shit, man. Sell it. You didn't mention the axe. What's the third weapon?
BMT?
He got the belt of strength.
At all, bro. I'm not helping the thing. I said I gave him the axe. He got no own character, man.
You gonna give one freebie? All right.
No,
all right,
no. He should know his own shit.
Yeah,
you
go
don't
ahead,
know.
Battle Jump.
I do. Jordan, blessed by Thor's blood, it allows him to cut celestials. It's useless until I scale celestials. My rebuttal to my opponent is 1.
Oh, whoa. We ain't there yet. Hold on. Battle Junkies, how you doing?
I think you came for rebuttals, All Black. You came ready for rebuttals.
Yeah,
Right.
that was his heavy rounds. Go ahead.
To be honest with you, I was favoring Thor going into the debate, but going as a judge, I kind of cleared the slate clean. All Black, I'm kind of expecting you to, I know we know our shit, you know what I mean? But we got to keep in mind those viewers that don't know anything about Thor. You got pick at Thor, just like how BMT is pulling games from God of War 1 You know, you feel me? Like you gotta talk to us like we don't know shit. Explain every intricate detail about this character because he got a history dating back to the 1970s.
Right.
You feel me? You can pull everything out of this arsenal. Like, technically, he has more historical feeds like that you can pull from. You feel me?
Right.
And we only hear just a skin surface. So that's all I want. I want a more intricate, detailed analysis about what Thor brings to the table, and make a stronger argument.
Yeah, basically represented as if we know nothing and the audience know nothing. Basically, enlighten us on the character we don't have any knowledge of, but we do, but you know how that goes.
Because when it comes down to debates, it goes to 1, facts, and 2, showmanship. Low key, you can win a debate and not have any facts, but if you bring actual good points, you feel me? You can sway people. But as of right now, I'm ready for round 2. I know you're gonna bring the heat. I'm ready.
Right. So I'm just gonna say this between me and All Black, because we know we in the same group, bro. This is what we mean by you may know some shit, but doing a actual on live debate is way different than when you're in the comments. Basically, the way you've been coming at this debate as if we in the comments and then you say this and then that's it. That's all we need to see. You need to be more persuasive. You feel what I'm saying? When you're in an actual live debate, you have to sell yourself.
No, this ain't even wrong for that.
Huh? No, just telling you. We just giving our thoughts, bro. We just giving our thoughts because
I'm letting y'all know it's coming. That's all I got.
It's coming.
Round 2.
It's
round
coming.
2.
You gotta leave it.
I didn't ask.
Representing weapons and armors. You gotta give us all of that. Like, give us all of that.
I need his music. That's how I'm looking.
Okay. All right.
He coming out. He pushing out jabs right now. He feeling his opponent.
So you gonna sacrifice?
Give him round 2.
Get the knockout.
All right. Since you said you gonna bring it, go ahead and start off with the first rebuttal, my G.
All right. So first, there's
Julie, you got his time, right? You timing it?
Hold on. 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minute rebuttal.
First, it's like how are we address misinformation and like fallacies, because there's a lot of things that BMT saying that don't stand. Mjolnir of Marvel is not the Mjolnir in God of War. Whatever relationship that has inverse of God of War has no correlation to Thor's Mjolnir that I'm using. So whatever he was saying with that's not applicable. And then with the feats that he's saying, all these stop times and stuff, where's the application throughout the multitude of games? It's not there. I know that's like you saying, that's something that you can pull out. Okay, then scale it then. What are the types of attacks you can reflect? What are the types of attacks that you have reflected? That's something that you didn't address at all. Like, and then you're saying that you have an immunity to lightning. Okay, scale the lightning. What kind of lightning? Otherwise, you're banking on NLF. There's thousands of people with intangibility, thousands of people with copycat skills, thousands of people with automatic counters. It's NLF to say that they can counter anything, any type of attack, phase through any type of attack. You have to scale those attacks and those abilities, which is what I plan on doing eventually. So as is, I'm telling y'all, I'm using Thor, and the main weapon that I'm going to be whooping Kratos' ass with is Mjolnir.
You don't need nothing else?
Don't need nothing else.
Millie, huh? You don't need the axe, you don't need the belt. We just got Millie gonna handle it all. Okay, I love the energy.
All right, go ahead, BMT. You got any rebuttals?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I actually brought up that of the dwarves, which I'm surprised he overlooked that. The dwarves that actually made Mjolnir, you know what I'm saying, that actually helped Odin composite that of the storm, the storm. Kratos' weapons, if he was paying attention, I brought up the origin of the primordial fire. Primordial fire, if you understand that of how Greek and Norse work, primordial fire, Norse and Greeks believe in that of the elements of nature. My fire is harder than that of your lightning. That is that of the cosmos.
Don't do that.
Hush, please. My fire is that of the same fire that is that of composited by Surtur, the bringer of Ragnarok. Now, let's put that into perspective. Surtur, who in Norse Marvel comics is the bringer of the end of Asgard. My fire is that of equal to or and harder than him, which I will even tell you in God of War 5 is what was used to actually make Surtur into that of Ragnarok. The thing about it also when it comes to that of the Leviathan axe, which is that of the frost of that of hell. Now of hell, if you understand that is that of Asgard's hell. There's nothing colder than that. My blades of chaos are not affected by that of hell. They are actually hot enough to actually burn away that of the cold. Odin cannot survive in that of hell. My blades can. The blade of Olympus is that of a universal plus buster weapon. It is that strong enough to split that of the Yggdrasil tree the same way as Thor used that of the hammer to attack that of pretty much the world snake. The world snake was the weapon that Thor used to fight him to knock him back in time. The blade of Olympus, which is canon, that of God of War 2. It was actually first seen in God of War 1. But in God of War 2, it was actually used to make Kratos into that of a god. In God of War 3, he actually has it as that of a standard weapon. That weapon is that of a multi-universal realm-destroying weapon. That is, as I so-called put it, absorbs gods and shatters that of reality, including that of the Yggdrasil tree. So
we look back on time.
It just ended. I was just letting him talk till bro got his connection back under control.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay,
go ahead, bro.
Listen,
hey, bonus time.
All right, bro, I'm going to hold. That's the
bonus rebuttal. Also, our we do apologize. All Black connection just tweaked out a little bit. He's rejoining right now, so we're gonna let BMT talk his shit.
Look at BMT.
You feel me?
He ready.
He didn't run. His connection did. So you feel me? Talk your shit though. You feel me? You are definitely more liberal and definitive with your responses and answers than he
brought up that first. So let's look at that. He brought up that his main weapon that he told us easily was going to be that of Mjolnir, which is literally that of a fool's trope that he's trying to use. First off, Thor has to feel that he is worthy to wield his weapon. Kratos already stated in that of God of War, I have tried. Atreus already asked him, why do you keep those blades? You look at it angrily. He said, I have already tried. In that of the chapter where he goes to that of the dragon, he said, I have tried many times. The blades and Kratos are one. In other words, he is that in the embodiment of rage and hatred. So no matter what Kratos does, the blades and Kratos can never be separated. He can throw them away into that of the universe. They will come back to him regardless. Thor has lost his hammer many times. Goddamn, many adversaries have taken Thor's hammer and used it on him. There has never been a time in battle that somebody has used Kratos' blades of chaos or the axe and turned it on that of Kratos. We have never seen that of a time where somebody has taken Kratos' weapon and bopped him upside with his own weapon. But we can look at it throughout that of the scans with Red Hulk, goddamn Captain America. Many niggas have just picked up this dude's weapon. That weapon ain't loyal to no goddamn Thor. That weapon is loyal to whoever that is worthy. And it does not mean you have to be a good person. You just have to be worthy to pick that up. That is a big hex in that of that hero's repertoire of weaponry. Because that means that weapon says whoever's that of a warrior spirit that feels that of confidence. Understand this. If he don't have confidence, guess what? Thor Mally gets dipped in his power. We can look at that in the context of different times when his father has he buffed him He has debuffed himself. Goddamn, when Jane Foster goddamn became Thor, Mighty Thor, he felt like he wasn't worthy. Fucking Nick Fury has talked trash to him. I don't feel like, goddamn, so all I gotta do is get Mjolnir to talk trash to him, and Mjolnir to talk trash to him during the fight. We gonna whoop his ass. I'm just being honest, because you can talk all the shit you want. You call Kratos a monster, a demon, a beast, a freak. That man's still gonna chill. And he doesn't care. He has the spear, which that's his actual weapon that he was trained to in Gogogi when he was a child. So actually, he's actually more proficient in that, which is actually given to him, which he can make multiple spears. Thor throws that weapon. Guess what? He has to wait till it comes back. Kratos don't have that damn problem. Kratos has a bow, a fiery bow of Helios. Kratos has different weapons. He has speed. He has a doggone Ouroboros, which that's time manipulation. He has shields that can literally repel that, which is canon in that of the mythos. If he can take that of cosmos lightning, space lightning, that's the same thing that engulfs that of the storm that Mjolnir uses. If he can take that of Zeus's lightning, which is that of the cosmos, he can take that of lightning from Thor. Mind you, Thor's magic is that of enchanted by that of his weaponry. That's not how it works for Kratos. He does not need a weapon to do magic. He knows how to do magic. He's a tactician. I've never played a Thor game and thought I had to do a damn puzzle. Kratos does puzzles, so he's not a dumb brute. Also, when it comes to that combative, name one fighting style that Thor has. But we can name 3 for Kratos. Kratos also does Greek wrestling, which is that of a wrestling sport, and throughout that of Greek, Italy, Rome, that is still even used by that of the time by that of police, Vikings, Norse, the Romans and Spartans. That man mastered that. You can also see that when he fought Balder, who is actually more savage of a fighter than Thor, and knocked him out with a punch. He didn't even use his weapons. He actually was just using his hands to fight Balder. So that shows you the man who knocked out the world snake that Thor still made it with, Balder knocked him out. Kratos killed the man that knocked out the world snake. That's a big difference in that of power. Now, I'm just looking at it, gentlemen judges, that you have it where that of
My bad.
Thor took a few comments to go find him so worthy to go use Mjolnir, which he had to use that of an axe that massively diffed him. There has never been a time in God of War Ascension, God of War Chains of Olympus, God of War 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 that Kratos ever had to go find his chains, his axe. Hell, when he throws the damn axe, if he hit triangle, the motherfucker comes back. Hell, I've done left the axe all the way in another goddamn board and shit somehow found me. Like, that's crazy. So that means the axe is bonded to him by that of love of his wife. So no matter what, the axe is connected to him. The blades are connected to him. That of the souls of the Titans. Also, mind you, he has that of the most important weapon to kill gods that was given to him by Pandora herself, and that was that of hope, which literally is a big buffer hex that the gods fear. If mankind so deemed that it does not need the gods, then guess what? Men can kill gods. That's why the god Zeus himself sealed off that of Pandora. Odin stated himself when he told that of Thor in the comics. Because Thor said, Father, we don't need humans. He humbled him and made him become a man that had to carry a cane. It said, you will walk amongst our mortals and understand them. So the same way he looked down on them was that of he needs them. Kratos don't need prayers. Kratos don't need their affection and love. All Kratos needs is Kratos. That's a difference in power. You need a weapon to power you. I just need to just kick your ass. That's all I need. That's a fact.
All right. I think we should end on that because that was ample time.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
Hey,
all black. Is there, if you hear any of that while you was out? If you want to say anything real quick, I'll give you like 2 minutes since my boy BMT did go in heavily after.
Basically, BMT one of them niggas that if he sleep you, he gonna keep stumping you out until you wake up. That's kind of like
I learned from Kratos, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. So, judges, I want you guys to be wary when making your decision. Statements do not equate to feats. Unless these feats and statements are quantified or scalable, then they're pretty much moot. Until BMT starts putting numbers and the scale of these abilities, attacks, items, they mean nothing.
True enough.
Is that he's trying to give you 2 minutes of rebuttal? That's all you want to add, or you want to get some more time?
I guess I had to get the recap of what he was talking about, but
he basically
can't really, but you can build up your character. That's pretty much all he was doing the whole time, building on Kratos.
Well, okay, armor's side, like bring in some more details. You know, get your.
I need my scans.
Where you want to go with it?
Here we go. All right. So remember right after the, I'm gonna heart it in the chat so you can see real quick.
Kapachi hella funny.
All right, you see the one with go before that. Go before all this. Just started that one though. Keep going.
Oh shit! That dome shot though.
Where did it go? My bad. Sorry about that. The one before.
Yeah. And then go at like it's the grouping. Yeah, one more.
No, we did that one.
He dropping all his shit.
Hey, he can get the spoilers. You're gonna see Silver Surfer when I'm flying. I'm gonna just start with that. But basically, I'm saying Thor is a high tier god in the god sphere of Marvel. He's above Hercules. I don't know where BMT got that Ares information. Because if you know the storyline with Ares and Thor and the Asgardians and the culmination of the gods, Ares got ripped in half by Sentry, and Thor was the only major opposing force against Sentry.
You talking about these ones, bro?
Nah, right here.
Hearted in the chat. Which one are you talking?
I did. But I don't know if I can do it on a single picture. It'll do it on the grouping.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
But yeah. So if you know much about Silver Surfer, basically he's a herald of Galactus, powered by the power cosmic. That's basically the universal essence of the multiverse. So he's nothing to play with. Surfer go out there searching throughout the universe. He give up a planet, and that's raps. These are, like you saying, I don't know in the scale of God of War cosmology, your fundamental forces, but Galactus is him. He is the devourer of worlds. And to know, basically knowing that Thor scales and can bang with the likes of him and Silver Surfer, it's not much that you're gonna be able to do. No, I'm gonna say you can say this now though. I'm gonna use that on my face.
That's it. That's all your rebuttals.
Yeah.
All right.
The one before this. Go before that. That's where I'm gonna start though. Next round, right there.
All right. So let's go ahead and take that down for right now. All right. So look, judges, how y'all feeling about that first round, man? Y'all ain't gotta tell me who y'all think winning. Just give me your thoughts.
Off first round, just off debate stand wise, I'm gonna have to go with BMT just because
I say you ain't gotta tell me who. You gotta don't slay the fans, man. Don't slay the fans. I'm saying, tell me how you feel. Don't tell me who you think winning. Just tell me how you feel, brother.
I feel like I ain't got enough information on one side of the field.
Coming soon.
If I'm acting oblivious to the situation, I don't have no information that was given to me on the other side of the field that make it sound like, okay, bro, gonna be able to withstand what's coming, you know?
Got you. Go ahead, Battle Junkies.
It's kind of the same. Right now, it feels like one side is like lacking more information. I don't know, man. It's seeming a little bit one-sided right now.
Okay. So one thing that I would like to say is that the compare and contrast that I like that BMT made was how as though Thor is a god that had to be humbled to become a man, while Kratos is a man who had to humble the gods as a god.
That's
Like
incorrect,
he's
though.
transformed into a god, while the god of Thor regressed into a human. You get what I'm saying? I think that's a really dope comparison. One thing is also we talked about armor and weapons and abilities. Well, no, just armor and weapons. The fact that BMT brought up that Thor's hammer has been for a multitude of characters, while at the same time, Kratos is the same character that has taken multiple gods' weapons. So it's interesting that, you know what I'm saying, you're talking about how powerful the weapon is when it's multiple people have wielded it, while, you know, that may be his main source of weapon. Kratos is the same character that has taken every single god's weapon and used it against them. So
And none of those weapons killed the
so I
Mjolnir.
think that's a really good, strong rebuttal. That's I'm just bringing up
real quick. I mean, if we throwing highlights, I'm gonna give one highlight to my boy All Black. He did compare the Mjolnir hammer in the Marvel universe to the God of War universe. There is a big difference in the origins and the way these two hammers are worked. I do think one hammer is particularly stronger than another hammer, based off of the piece alone. But yeah, that is a distinguishing fact, because one hammer from one universe is equal to the Leviathan axe in the other universe. Doesn't mean that they're comparison cross universe. So that was just a point.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I guess we done with the first round. Y'all want to get into round number 2?
Yes, sir. Now it's time for me to turn up.
Okay. Oh, is that it? That's funny. Go ahead.
He said fair. He said fair. Round number 2. This is character feats. We will start with All Black. It was supposed to flip each round, but since you left and he was talking for a long time, I'll let you go first again. We're going to start off with you, man. Character feats.
Right,
Like he said, talk your shit, bruh.
So like I was saying before, y'all know Silver Surfer, ain't nobody to play with. He's powered by the Power Cosmic. One of the fastest motherfuckers in Marvel. It's funny that BMT quoted that nobody in Marvel can move at a nanosecond. But it's like he must not know what it means to be massively faster than light. These are beings who can travel the universe, the multiverse, in seconds. So this is me just showing you Thor keeping up on speed with Silver Surfer. And you can see that he's able to throw Mjolnir and tag Silver Surfer. So that not only equates to speed, but it equates to accuracy. Okay, so basically what I was talking about before, you're going to see Thor is taking head on Galactus. Go to the next one. Galactus is not, go right there. Galactus is a being powered by omniversal energy. That means that's not a single universe. That's not a single multiverse. That is a omniverse. That's an infinite infrastructure that is continuously expanding. As we know from Marvel, the 7th cosmos, the 6th cosmos, the 5th cosmos. It's basically like the Russian doll. And Thor is able to contest, and next scan, knock this nigga out with Mjolnir. He's knocking out a being with omniversal energy. That's a scalable feat. Now go back to next scan. What I was talking about with forward, my bad.
Go back or go forward?
No, forward. Just to him throwing Mjolnir.
The one with the hold on, I got you right.
It look OG, the classic.
The one I showed earlier, the old school comic.
Yeah. Basically, this is pre-Odin Force, pre-Allfather Thor. So this is when he wasn't even on top of shit. If you can read what this scan say, he threw Mjolnir to the edge of the universe and back within a moment of panels. To travel at that speed is beyond anything Kratos could comprehend. And that's just Mjolnir. Not only is he throwing it, but he's reacting to catching it. As we see multiple times when Thor recalls Mjolnir. Next scan. As you were talking about those primordial energies, one of the main primordial energies of the Marvel Universe is the Phoenix Force. As we know, and I guess I have to go into this blind, the Phoenix Force is a cosmic entity that represents the death and rebirth of universes on the multiversal scale. We've seen beings like Jean Grey powered up by it. We know that at that point, she's a being that could reside in the white hot room. That's more into more Marvel cosmology, but that's basically the room that's right under the creator, the author in our world. Here, you see Thor is one-shotting that motherfucking Phoenix with Mjolnir. So those primordial energies that you were talking about, that you had to do all this plot shit for, that's little work for Thor. Now the next scan is going to give y'all a little background about Surfer Speed. Unless y'all think I hit it good on Speed. Hopefully there ain't no misconception.
Why the fuck didn't he pop up? Where'd he go?
All right. If you see here, it's talking about how Surfer uses cosmic awareness to locate a planet that's eons away. Within the next panel, you can go ahead and go to it. He's crashing down there. So basically, this is showing that Surfer is traveling eons within moments. That's nothing that Kratos has displayed or shown reacting to. But furthermore, now I'm going to expand on the cosmology of Asgard and the World Tree. So one of the craziest feats that Thor has is basically he redacted against the forces of the World Engine and the World Tree, combined to spin a turnstile that kind of weaves the fate of the Marvel multiverse. So you can go to the one above it. Yeah, you see he's pushing that turnstile. And then go to the scan before. You can go to the big one. Yeah. So this basically shows the breakdown of the World Tree, Yggdrasil. While I'm saying this to specify, this is Marvel's Yggdrasil. These properties and the way it's depicted does not carry over into God of War. Now to go to the next scan. To elaborate, in this scan, it specifically talks about the 9 realms. And remember, I was saying that Thor was pushing against the force of the World Tree. These 9 realms are multiple distinguished universes. So he's pushing against the force of multiple universes. And the World Engine. The World Engine is the engine that powers the Eternals. That's celestial beings. Already told you what another being on par with them, Galactus, is omniversal energy. Celestials are at the top of the hierarchy. They're the beings who created the Beyonders. The Beyonders are beyond whatever we talk about. So let's go ahead and wrap it up real quick. I'm going to bring y'all next to Glory. We love talking about Kratos killing pantheons and killing all these thousands of gods. Well, Thor killed as many. Basically, Thor has a single feat that outshows everything Kratos has ever did in a single feat. You need me to show you what you?
No, it's loading up.
Oh, my bad. Start at the top though. All right, bet. So y'all finna see Glory. Glory is an aspect of Mikaboshi, who is also an aspect of Oblivion. Basically, these are the beings who are bringing the void into the Marvel multiverse, the end-all, be-all of the Marvel multiverse. As you see here, I don't know if you guys can specifically read the text, but it talks about Glory being composed of thousands and thousands of gods and pantheons. You can go to the next one if it's not on there. But you just see, Thor running up swinging because it ain't no thing. So I'm gonna let y'all basically just take a little brief at these scans, and hopefully y'all can read the context of them, and then I can further give my breakdown when it gets
Can't
about
read
the.
it?
Shit, I can't even see the motherfucker myself. I got you. Hold on.
Yeah, read it off your phone or the group chat that you
Yeah,
sent.
come on,
I'm
brother.
saying if I get the hold of my
Come on,
phone,
what?
I'll
Stop
be
being
looking
lazy.
on.
No, you good. I'm holding mine all
Alright.
the time. Every episode.
Hopefully y'all can read it.
Before this. So no, you had it before,
Oh, back to
right
the
there.
first.
So as you see, they're battling in an other dimensional sky. He's not facing just one god, but an embodiment of an entire pantheon. 10,000 entities and their worlds, all within him. So you can go ahead to the next game. Basically, you're going to see Thor trading blows. He throws Mjolnir hard enough to where it's able to affect this being. Again, we're talking about other dimensional gods, basically. You see, he laughing at him, but that ain't no thing to Thor. At this point, at this level of power, fighting becomes more than just physical combat. As it says here, these laughs and shit are literally affecting Thor on like a physical level. What did it say? Shit, actually, I ain't no point in breaking down. Go ahead to the next one. You're gonna see Thor is able to fly faster. You said what?
I said it's a point to everything to be broken down. Don't say that. Good, continue.
All right, go back one more.
What we looking like on time?
You got about another minute and a half, bro.
All right.
Jeez, I'm gonna have to pick it up. Go back one more.
Go back?
Yeah. No, you missing one there. This one where he fly through his chest. But okay, either way, okay.
This.
I'm just trying to show y'all that Thor is basically strong enough to pierce these type of gods, basically. So he's literally piercing a being composed of entire pantheons, which consists of thousands of gods in their worlds. The next scan you can show the one after him getting grabbed. Basically, the one with him getting grabbed, I'm showing you guys he's resisting that physical force of, again, that entire pantheon, a god of that being.
So
and
basically,
then specifically, huh?
No, go ahead.
You can see here, Thor reflects and tanks an attack from Glory. It specifically says the right here. Glory sensed it, unleashing a torrent of cosmic fire that console its totality of its power. So that's specifically stating, you know how people be like, oh, he was holding back this and that, this and that. No, this shows on panel, Thor tanked 10,000 gods worth of energy in an attack. And then if you go to the next scan, as I said, he tanked it, deflected it with Mjolnir, and then was able to reflect it and kill that being. So whatever Thor, Kratos can give out that's energy or attack-wise, it can be deflected and sent back if it scales below this type of being.
Okay.
Right?
That's your round?
Yeah,
Yep.
time up.
All right.
That was a little better than round one, brother.
Definitely was.
I like you, but you're able to show details on that, brother.
Good job. BMT.
Yeah, could you show
Talk your shit.
Yeah, let's first start off. Could you click the if you want to look at the feed, let's go ahead and get to the speed, please. Let's knock that out the park first. And I'm gonna show you why that just going whatever one you pull up, and I'm gonna break it down for you. He has that of keeping up with when it comes to his speed. We have where Kratos has kept up with that the fates, death itself, as well as Hermes. Now, when it goes to Hermes, you're actually looking at that.
About this one, my brother?
That's actually the Valkyries. The Valkyries actually traverse that and actually maneuver that, like just act for the time, the speed, moving at that of 1.86 quintillion seconds. If that's good enough for you, Judge, that's actually traversing and actually taking that of Norse warriors or men in all the 9 realms to the dead. So Kratos was able to battle and keep up with that of the speed of the Valkyries. That's like the fastest thing alive, even in the Marvel universe, which literally traversed that of the dead. So if Kratos was actually able to fight the Queen, who was actually the fastest one, and actually do time manipulation and actually best her, mind you, 1.6 quintillion. Y'all know that. He outdid her. Now, he actually scaled higher than that when he actually versus that of Hermes. Hermes is that of the messenger. Now, that is the Fates. The Fates,
Okay.
That is the Fates. I'm actually going to go over that of the Fates. And that's death. Actually, stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. So that is death. Death itself. I want you to understand this. This is Kratos before. That is Thanatos.
Judge, if he's giving out false information, what am I supposed to do?
Could you please be quiet?
Shut up. That's for the rebuttal.
You address it during your rebuttal.
Yeah.
You gotta keep this point in mind and then go back to it during your rebuttal.
So during that, could you please put up my scan of? Could you please put up my scan of Thanatos? So Thanatos is that of the god of death.
Oh wait, Thanatos. That's the same person.
That's Thanatos. That is the god of death. I want y'all to understand this, gentlemen, that Kratos was actually able to keep up with death itself, the god of death itself, and actually able to catch him and kill him. That is crazy that Kratos, I want you to understand that, gentlemen, had that of the power to catch and kill death itself. That is nothing that no other god has done and caught and killed death. But this god killed death itself. So we also want to show, if you want to show that of the next scan, go ahead and show the scans, please. You can show them any way you want, and I'm gonna break them down of that of his feet. That right there is Helios. Now, if y'all know Helios carries that of the sun. Now, he can carry any sun and light up that of the cosmos, of the universe, of the cosmos. I want you to understand this. Kratos take that more than that of a white dwarf star and a red sun multiple times to the face from that of Helios. I want you to understand that. A white dwarf and a red star multiple times, he was taking that to the face and still walking up and taking that of the holding his hand in front of his face and killing, and actually was able to best that of Helios, the god of the light, which he actually carried him on his hip. I want you to understand that. Kratos was carrying a sun on his hip. Now, y'all, I want you to understand that the gravitational pull of carrying a star on your hip, that's more than Mjolnir. I'm just saying, Mjolnir is a white dwarf star. Kratos is carrying the sun on his hip. There's a big diff of density and mass in space that man is carrying. Because if Helios is that of the embodiment of the sun, and Kratos ripped off his head and put it on his pocket and used it as a flashlight, that means he's using the sun as a flashlight to walk around that of the Pantheon. That is crazy. You got to think it's a sun that can hold that of the universe, and he's carrying it on his hip without that of it affecting his speed, his maneuverability, and also his reaction speed. He's carrying that on him and still keeping up with that of the gods. Now, if you want to go back to that, show the next Scantron, please.
Which one?
Go back to that of the speed. You can go back to that of the speed.
Which one? This one right here. I mean, we talk about this.
Sisters. It's the sisters.
That's
the sister. Okay, we can stop right there. I want you to understand that is the fastest. That is the fastest god in all the Pantheon. But since we're dealing with gods, you're dealing with that of the fastest god, the messenger god, and the carrier of death. That is even faster than the Valkyries. The Valkyries are a quintillion. He moves at that of a nano, which is that of quantified even faster than anything that we can actually fathom in that of our mind. Hermes does that, and Kratos wears his exact boots that he cut off his legs in God of War 3. So I want you to understand this. Kratos caught the fastest being in existence and cut off his legs and put his boots on and took them and started running around. That's insane. There is nothing that is faster in either pantheon. The closest thing that they had was Heimdall in the Norse mythology. And Heimdall doesn't come nowhere close to Hermes. So let's compare the gods. Hermes versus Heimdall, and Hermes actually can low dip outspeed Heimdall. Teleportation. Hermes runs two different realms on a whim. He actually races against that of Helios. You gotta think. Hermes for fun tries to outrun that of light and time and space for fun, and Kratos caught him and took his boots and actually wears them to run around with. Now, people look at it in the games, well, why doesn't Kratos run that fast? I don't think it would actually be an enjoyable game if the guy was running around like Sonic everywhere. Like, it wouldn't be that of a game. You're playing a Pantheon game, like Onimusha or Sekiro. You're playing a Pantheon game with gods. That's why you don't see mortals holistically in those games, because it wouldn't make sense, because the time diff would not make sense. Now, show the next one. When you saw that of him fighting the sisters actually exist out of the fate of time and space. It's stated in God of War 5 that Freya, the queen of the Valkyries, yes, that is the
sister, right?
Right. It is stated that the Norns have no such magic in their realm that can control that of space and time and fate. However, Kratos, in his world, when Mimir asked, brother, did you actually kill that of fate? Yes, I did not. I did that. He said that like that was a casual day. He said they wanted to wipe me from existence. I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing faster than existence. There is nothing faster than that of existence of the beginning. No, there is no God above that. So you got to think the one above all spoke about existence, and Kratos killed that of what actually we time of existence. That is insane. He killed that which tried to wipe him from ever existing, from being born. He took himself out of existence. It is a time paradox. That's a time paradox. There is nothing faster than a time paradox, Thor. So let that sink in, that no matter how fast you run, you cannot outrun something that does not actually equivalent or affected by that of time, mass, and gravity of space. He just can remove himself. So the next thing, please show my next picture. Please go ahead and show my next picture.
Right here.
I'll break it down. Oh no. But that's him actually fighting himself. He's done that plenty of times. Could you go to that of the
endurance?
I want you to pull up that of the endurance. Yes, please. And I'm going to actually show you this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you something that hardly any God can ever do. That God's fear. God's fear losing that their soul. If they lose their soul, if you show the picture, if a God loses soul, it cannot exist. Kratos, I want you to understand this. The same weapons, the blades, the hooks of Ares, the claws of Ares that were being used to pull out a Titan's soul that mind you, Titans are primordial forces of nature, which that is what Mjolnir is made of. Kratos resisted that of the same force of power and pulled his soul back into himself and consumed that of the god that tried to consume his soul. Crazy. In other words, Kratos' soul cannot be pulled from him, cannot be knocked out of him, can paint it or ever be controlled. You cannot control Kratos' soul. We have different context that we can pull up of Thor being controlled, but you can never pull up anything about Kratos ever being controlled by his soul. Now, you can pull up the next feat, and this is actually the very most important thing that you can actually, I want you to pull it up. Go ahead, pull it up. Pull up the next endurance. This is something I want. Yeah, with the endurance. Kratos is standing in front of that of Surtur. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Surtur is the bringer of Ragnarok in that of Marvel Comics for the Asgardians, which is Thor's race, throughout all the comics. No matter what, Surtur is in there, and he's the bringer. I want you to understand this. Surtur was there in the beginning when that of the universe and the elements were first birthed into existence. Surtur respected that of Kratos' which he literally able to control Surtur's fire. I want you to understand this. Kratos can hold the Surtur's fire in his hand with no problem. He also lifted that of the Yggdrasil tree. This man pushed a world engine. Kratos picked up the Yggdrasil tree and flipped the 9 realms upside down. I want you to understand this. There is no limitation to that of time and space and that of the cosmos. We cannot imagine that. The fathers that he said he raced to that in a second. Kratos picked up that of the 9 realms, something that he could only push. Kratos flipped upside down to actually just go through a door, and he did that in one day. So I want you to understand that, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Kratos did in his speech.
BMT. All right, bet.
Bet.
All right, judges, how y'all feeling about that round? All right.
That was a really good back and forth. I mean, good points on both sides. The glory. I actually even heard of glory from the Marvel Universe, but that was a good feat to bring up. Also, it was a good comeback with the Blades of Hades. Hooks of Hades.
He said Ares.
You know,
Ares.
Is it Ares or is it Hades?
No, you got it right.
No. The hook. The hook. The pull.
He said for the hook of Ares.
It's called the Blades of Chaos. You talking about the hooks of Hades?
The hooks of Hades. The hooks of Hades. That was a good point to point out that if you could pull out the elemental force of a Titan, and technically Mjolnir is just an elemental force of a thunderstorm. That was a good feat to pull out, or a good rebuttal to that. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that was good.
Jew?
I feel we're a little leveled out here now. Like Battle Junkie said, it was definitely a good debate on both sides in round 2. As before, right now, the feat of what is his name, Glory, that was definitely a big feat. Also, I would like to say the Silver Surfer feat is also something very big, because us as Marvel fans know that Silver Surfer is quick and fast as hell, and not everybody can hit that man. You have to be at an extreme speed to be able to react and to attack something of that entity. You feel me? So that was definitely, but I do like how BNT did, like Battle Junkie said, did bring up the hooks of Hades and him being able to, save his soul and, yank some shit when it's looking bad for him. I'm still on the fence though with the whole game thing though, because like in the game you could lose if you don't know how to play that well, but if you playing that well, it's kind of destined for you to win, for you to move on sometimes. So, but I like how BMT holding it up with what Kratos has done. You feel me?
Hey, all right. Can I start my rebuttal?
Yeah, all right. I was gonna have a chance to talk.
I was gonna have a chance in the chat. I definitely like to highlight what the chat said.
All right, I got you.
Which one?
Talk your shit real quick.
All right. Because you know me, I ain't got no ego, bro. It don't bother me none. But I was just gonna say that, as far as like how this debate is going, I definitely think that you pulled up for this round. I think that the feats were really nice. I think you went way more into detail. I would like to hear how you said that, okay, if these things are not quantified, then they're kind of nuked, right? The same thing that you're saying with the character that he's beat, such as Galactus and these characters, you're not really going into details of how powerful these characters are. Yes, we understand. Hold on. You can't. Come on, bro. It's me talking. Hold on now. All right. So look. So I'm saying, like, I understand you went into a little detail about Galactus, but then when you went into the other characters that are in comparison to Galactus, you know, you didn't really go into deeper detail. You're just like, oh, these are these characters. You know how they get down. So I'm just saying, quantify the feat, elaborate why the feat is so amazing with the feats that you're, you know, bringing up with the characters that he. That's all. But as far as that goes, I think that was a really good round on both ends. I think y'all both did a good job. But go ahead, let's get into this rebuttal round, man. Go ahead.
On the note of you talking about quantum feats, I would like to remind the judges that BMT is representing video game Kratos. Anything he uses lore-wise to substantiate his claims is moot. He cannot bank on the lore because when specifically asked about this bout, he said the outside lore is not needed. So everything in-game that he could show, that's what can be scaled. And that is what he's yet to scale. Saying that's reaching infinity, the speed of death, those are statements, those are concepts. If you can give it a single speed or whatever, then do such. You said something is a quintillion times speed or reacting at the nano speed. Can you use anything in-game to substantiate that? You haven't done such. Where did you get that speed from? You haven't done such. You used your speed of the Valkyrie by saying her speed to traverse time and fate. Yet, how are you using that to equate to travel speed? If I manipulate time, that's me manipulating time. That has nothing to do with me moving fast. And like I'm saying, so I don't know. I don't know what you scale or what you quantify. How hard is Thor hit? I mean, is Kratos hitting? Hard enough to destroy existence? Cool. Existence in God of War verse. How hard can he hit in my verse or in a neutral zone? I showed that Thor is able to hit hard enough to destroy omniversal beings. I showed that Thor is fast enough to keep up with beings who traverse eons in moments, who reach the edge of the universe in moments. And then, so as somebody talked about in the bottom, you use all those outstanding feats to back up Kratos, which makes sense because you're banking on lore. But in game, when he fought against somebody like Baldur, he was getting his ass worked. Baldur is barely above superhuman. You can scale all his feats. He has nigh inner vulnerability, and that it gave Kratos an issue. All of the attacks in that bout can be scaled.
Shoot.
He was holding back the entire game. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm saying if we put our
Jude, did you read that?
Mind into all this stuff, then there's so much stuff I could say. I could say, okay, well, I played God of War, and through my playthrough, I died so many times. That's bullshit. So you got to show me what like what's in game, the cutscenes, and whatever scale measures you can get from that. So I'm asking, tell me how. You said 10 seconds. And we got one more round for scans, or that's it?
Yeah, the conclusion.
Yeah, we got another round.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a cross examination?
Okay. Like you're saying, okay, this is what I want to say. So I've already distinguished that my Yggdrasil is not his Yggdrasil. Yet he attempted to say, oh, Kratos flipped the world tree. Okay, those 9 realms, how big are they? Can you substantiate that? I substantiated that my 9 realms in the Marvel universe are multiple universes. And that's what he was interacting with. How strong, like what scale that feat? How big is that feat of you flipping the world tree? That's what I mean. Right. You give statements and you're banking on headcanon and going on tangents without scaling anything.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, BMT.
Save the
rest.
It's
your chance, man. Talk your shit.
Okay, so first of all, this nigga has yet ever given us, and he did This nigga hasn't given us any time or density, mass, none of that shit. I expect that of a Marvel doofus, not to give us any speed, FTL feats, or anything like that. Like, you got to give us actual numbers, dude. That's actually time and space. Do you not know how math, density, equivalent of exchange works? You know, if you ever understood that, you would have been keeping track. I actually broke down a white dwarf density. That's your hammer, dummy. But I just gave you something even greater than your hammer that I carry on my hip. A fucking sun. A sun beats your star. If you know how the cosmos work. That's science. Do they not teach you that in Asgard? So when I told you about that of time and space, you should have understood that.
Hold on. I gotta play this.
No. He definitely wanted to go there about quantification. So I'm going to break it down mathematically for him. So you need equipment to help you move faster. I move faster because I'm built that way. I can run faster than that of a nano split second because I'm wearing that of the boots of Hermes. That is quantified in that of the lore and that of the game. If you pull up that of the boots of Hermes in the description, it tells you that's what the boots do. That they actually can travel from that of the messenger all the way to that of Hades to throughout that of the cosmos. What is a quantified reality all throughout the realms. They actually break down that even in that of Marvel Universe of the 9 realms. You need a fucking goddamn date to travel around the 9 realms. I can just run the bitch. That's fact. That's a nanosecond. You can't quantify that. I'm sorry if you didn't catch that. When I broke down that of the white dwarf star, and I explained that of the natural nature of your hammer, if you understood that, of that of a storm. Your storm puts out that of 45 million suns. That's how much your hammer puts out with that of your lightning. My blades of chaos overpower that. Because guess what? Your weapon doesn't function that well in hell. Do you know where hell is? Do you know where hell is, Thor? My blades of chaos function in hell and are not affected by that of the frost cold. Odin, in your lore, told that of Thor he had trouble in hell with the frost giants. I didn't give a fuck. Kratos just walked around in hell without a shirt on. Or was killing things. He killed the gatekeeper and took its heart. That is a mythical creature that has bested Thor in the fucking comics. Helena fucking raped you in the fucking comics and had sex with you. Thor didn't have them problems. Oh yeah, he did. He got fucked up. Guess what? I went to hell with my son like it was a Sunday. And we killed things. So there's a difference when I'm breaking that of my energy I output. I lifted the temple of Tyr, which carries that of the Yggdrasil tree, that is of the 9 realms, that is over 100 million. You could only push that of a world engine. Nigga, I flipped one over like it was my bitch.
Again, they're not the same.
Come on, bro. Can't keep doing that.
So
if you keep bullshit,
BMT,
stop.
BMT, stop. Hold on. I see he got him muted. We already done said it multiple times. All black, you doing good, bro. You're doing better as far as your feats and shit like that. But you're going to lose points when you start cutting people off. He's not cutting you off on your points. This is a live debate. It's not the comments. You feel me? So when you're on a live debate, you have a time frame for a reason. Jew even gave you an extra time when BMT went on a rant because your thing went down and he went out to look out for you and gave you extra time to talk your shit. So you can't disrespect your debater by interrupting his time when he's trying to rebuttal the actual time that we gave you to rebuttal his statements. Respect each other, bro. That's all I gotta say. Respect the judges, respect the space. That's all I gotta say. All right, come on.
BMT,
I cross-scaled that for the judges to understand that of what Kratos is doing with that of lifting that of the 9 realms, which he did. Also beating Boulder. Thor could only knock down that of the World Snake into time. Boulder knocked it out. Kratos exubified more energy to actually best Boulder and drop him 2 times over. Literally, that means Boulder, Thor's brother, knocked out the World Serpent. Something that Thor did not do. I actually took down Boulder, which is actually canon. So there's a difference in that of the magnitude of that of the power output. Kratos outputs that of a multi-universal punch, stated by that of Poseidon knocking that of Atlas down on the ground. Atlas holds that of the universe, which that resides of the one above all, on his shoulders. Kratos, Kratos, was staggering Atlas out. That means he was hitting at a universal level before he was even a full god. Before he was a full god, he was already hitting at a universal level. When he became a god, he was hitting at multi-universal level plus. So you want to know the difference of his power output? That means he hits at universal plus, which that's why he was able, if you notice in God of War, the 4th one, he was not even caring when Boulder was striking him in the face. Also, he can self-regenerate, something Thor cannot do. But Thor can't regenerate. Kratos can. Kratos can take death blows. If he concentrates, he can self-regenerate.
That's time, DMT.
I'm done.
That's time. All right, man. How'd y'all judges? How'd y'all feel about that rebuttal session?
Go ahead, Battle.
Things were getting pretty heated. Just want to remind you guys to keep it classy, no ad hominem attacks, keep it straight facts and feats. But yeah, you guys are bringing the heat this time around. I would love to hear. I haven't heard either one of the debaters touch on Warriors Madness or Spartan's Rage. I think those two were. You talk about Spartan Rage?
Yeah, you talked about.
Yeah. I would like to hear. I would like to hear both competitors, address each other, full on rage mode. That's all mine.
Oh, you in trouble now? I liked it that round. I do feel where the comments are coming from with the cross scaling and stuff, because you're going back to lore, which is highly different from the game in the comics, because they are both rewritten totally different, with some context being the same. I definitely like where AllBlackButcher with this round, with the feats and everything like that. His rebuttals were very, very good as well. Again, like Khan said, y'all got to respect each other so we can hear y'all, as well as the people viewing can hear what each one of y'all got to say when y'all on the clock. BMT definitely talking his shit. He definitely coming with it, but I would like to see a little bit more from both on, like Battle Junkie said as well, is just the rage and the actual fighting capability. But I definitely felt BMT where he said about the time and speed and stuff like that, because the game would be weird if niggas move that fast. It wouldn't be that fun. It wouldn't be that fun. But in reality, the shows for comic books is the same as well. They're not moving at that actual speed. They add a little electric or lightning to make it look like, different from every other character. But I'm liking where it's going so far. I definitely ready to hear what the conclusions would be and how these two motherfuckers can actually face off. I'm still shook. I know Kratos has a lot of weapons as well, but in an actual fight with somebody like Thor moving at that speed, you can't. How are you going to be able to wield the weapons as fast as you think you can? So I would definitely like to hear something about that. If he got something for that, I definitely want to hear that. I would also like to say The comments are giving both of you guys fuel to use. There's no rules against using that. So definitely pay attention to those comments because they are giving you guys fuels and rebuttals for your own self. But if you know what you're talking about, you'll know how to use these comments as well to your advantage during this. Why ain't nobody talking about how you referenced the hammer as a dwarf star, yet he knocked out Galactus? I respect that. Hey, we're not the people to reference that. We're just here to hear like you. So if that's why I said if they're looking at the comments, there's fuel in these comments for each one of them. So that's up to All Black to use what y'all saying about Thor, and that's up to BNT to use what y'all saying about Kratos. You feel me? Other than that, we're just here so we don't get fined. Go ahead, Khan.
Hey, man. So, yeah, man, it's been a good debate so far, man. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we talking punches, you know what I'm saying? It's the count is starting to come up, you feel me? I think it's starting, the blows are starting to somewhat even out, you know what I'm saying? But I will say that, again, showsmanship will count against you, bro. You have to have showsmanship. This is a debate live group where we get respect to each other's mind, intellect, and you know what I mean, our content. You know what I'm saying? This is TapN No CapN, bro. We're basically, you feel me? All the nerds and all the highlights that we give to the people on this show is out of love. You feel me? I know we're in a heated debate, but it gets to a point of disrespect if we start saying, start cutting people off. You gotta have respect for each other and have respect for the live content. You feel me? For the viewers. You know what I mean? Think about the viewers and what they're trying to hear. The other people want to hear this debate too. They want to see who is better. And a lot of people are biased towards Thor and other people are biased towards Kratos. You know what I'm saying? So we really want to hear this, bro. I appreciate y'all giving me y'all time. Let's end this debate with this last round and give it all you got. Go ahead, Drew.
All right. So we're moving into the conclusion.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys are so screwed now. Okay, man. So this is the round where, man, you got to put it all on the table, man. This is the heads up. You feel me? This is the last round. This is where you got to bring all that shit together, man, and make it make sense. You feel me? It's like getting the bucket full of Legos of a fucking stormtrooper, something, you know, you got to put it together and build it up right now, man. So whatever you got left over in the vote, I'm going to need all of it here right now on the table. There will be no round after this, so don't save a scan if you got it. Don't lack out on details if you got it. You feel me? You have to bring it how it is, man. You feel me? So round 3, damn, there was a lot of scans in there. We had a lot. So it's gonna be round 3, man. The conclusion. You feel me? On this one, we're gonna let God of War BMT go first, since All Black and Thor went first for the first 2 rounds in the intro. So we definitely gonna let round 3 start off with God of War. We're going to see what the conclusion is and what is in the vote with my boy BMT. So I'm going to let him in. And when you're ready to start, let me know. You're going to have 5 minutes on the clock, and I'll start when you're ready.
So you go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. If you click on show these, and I'm explaining pretty much the first one, it actually goes over the people who have killed Thor, and literally it's we're gonna go over that. The same. It's ironic that he brought up that of the Phoenix Force, a force of nature that can be reborn time and time again in the primordial fires of existence. The Phoenix Force, when it literally had defeated him, as you see above, was issued by the Avengers versus the X-Men. Thor lost to them multiple times. Even that. Where Colossus himself literally took his own hammer and actually took it from him and crushed it. Another time was Black Bolt of the Eternals beat Thor by using his voice. Now that's it. Can you hear me?
Black Bolt is in Humans, right?
Yeah.
Well, he probably now. it's interesting because creatures like the Sirens or it's actually the Eternals. Black Bolt is like over the Eternals. I mean, last time I checked.
Okay.
Right, he's the king of the Inhumans.
Yeah, I thought
Cool. Yeah, my bad. I do apologize about that. But that's somebody that has beaten him. He's also lost to that of Hercules, which is ironic because Kratos killed Hercules. Scarlet Witch. Kratos deals with Kratos fights people that literally control that of reality itself, which is the Scarlet Witch. She defeated that of him. Also, he beaten a witch actually more powerful. Freya is actually more powerful witch than that of Scarlet. She does hexes. The show The Boy Wonder, Captain America. Captain America beat Thor. I have yet seen any super Spartan soldier beat Kratos, but we can pull up that of Captain America beating him. The next person that we can also put up is also the Red Hulk, who literally, General Ross literally fought him in space on his ground, took him to another planet, took the hammer out of his hand. Like I said, this guy keeps losing his hammer and knocked him out with his own hammer and beat him. Which he actually, Thor said he promised he was going to get revenge. Another guy who beat him was the Ghost Rider, the embodiment of vengeance itself. Now, it's interesting because it depicts Ghost Rider with a chokehold, and literally he was beating up Thor, Iron Man, and all of them. Literally, they had to get rid of him. Kratos actually beat that of the spirit of death itself, Thanatos. I'm showing y'all the crossovers of how they work. Thanatos, that of the vengeance of death. He actually beat him. As I told you, he kept pace with him, caught him, and killed him. Okay. Next person that we got is that Superman when they did the crossover. I'm showing you all the defeats. He beat Superman, went over there with Wonder Woman, went there for a long war, but of course he threw hands with that of the Asgardian prince and actually put him down. So we also can pull up that's different times that Kratos has dealt with this. I think Zeus actually fought a being on par with that of that level, and Kratos killed him. Now, y'all asked the question about will Kratos ever have a problem changing weapons? Actually, it's shown that Kratos actually can can shift his weapons very easily. Like I said, he controls magic. So actually, flipping weapons is very easily from that of the spear to that of the blades of chaos to that of the chains of Hades. We actually can do it in that of a split of a plantillion, look it up, second. That's how fast he can change it, and also as well as pull out magic. When it comes to that of his rage meter, he has that of the rage meter. He has a Spartan rage. He has 3 different factions of meters that he can use. One rage meter allows him to gain that of health. Even when he takes damage, he's still gaining health. The Spartan rage allows that he feels no damage and actually quadruples that of his strength. Mind you, the god of war is that on a universal plus level. That quadruples his strength by 4. By God of War 5, he's on that of a universal plus level. In other words, he rivals that of the primordial beings themselves, if that more. Also, when it comes to that, Athena also asked him to relinquish that of the Blade of Olympus. The Blade of Olympus was the blade that actually dropped all that of the primordial elements from Gaia to Atlas, who holds the heavens, to that of Kronos. Kratos took the Blade of Olympus and stabbed himself with the blade and tanked it and did not die. Kratos cannot die so long as Kratos does not want to die. So that lets you know of his definitive factor that the blade that kills immortality cannot kill Kratos itself. That's why I said he forces nature by itself that literally if you try to kill him, he'll just come back. Which we know is a genetic thing because when he showed that of Atreus, when Atreus takes damage, he told Atreus, focus and just concentrate. Atreus' wounds begin to heal like his father. So that way you know that it is a genetic hereditary trait that they can heal if they so wish it. No other gods have that ability but the Pantheon. So with the Spartan rage as well as the weapons, he can switch weapon to the Plantillion second. He can actually think, tactically, does not fall under pressure. Also, when it comes to the rage, he actually is more focused about his rage. And then when he becomes that of a mentor level, he actually is more cold and calculating when it comes to that. That's why he has 3 different rage.
Finish up your point, BMT.
So just showing you when it comes to that of his tactical prowess, the God actually had the old God, which he is now, actually has more control of the elements, power, and weaponry than he did when he was younger. He actually got more calculating with his prowess of power down to a plantillion second, which he was teaching his son.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's time. All right. This is your chance, All Black.
Let me know when you're ready. I'll start the clock.
Good.
Hold on, don't do it. Let me get back down to your scans. Don't start yet. I ain't gonna do that. All right.
To begin, my opponent is using a lot of misinformation in here. He scaled his ability to swap the weapons or whatever to a quintillionth of the speed of light. Yet we know that's not the speed because you can physically watch him swap weapons. If he was moving at that speed, it wouldn't equate to such. 2, lifting strength does not equate to durability or striking force. So Atlas lifting the universe does not mean he is as strong or swinging at a universal level or is as durable as the universe. So just because you can punch a being lifting up the universe does not mean you're punching at a universal level. Like I said, striking force does not equate to durability. Physical strength does not equate to durability. Those are 2 separate categories. Hence the term glass cannon is a thing. You can be strong as hell and have a glass jaw. Also, what were the repercussions of Atlas dying when Kratos killed him? Did the universe collapse after he stopped holding it? Is that a hyperbole? What scale are you using? That's something that I've asked you to substantiate multiple times. Then you talk about the properties, and one, applying real world physics to a fiction is a no-go regardless. So that one, that's already out the way. 2, Thor's hammer isn't a dark star, or what is it? What do you say? A dark neutron star or dwarf star? It's made of uru metal. I don't know where you got that star shit from, but it's definitely not that. It's uru metal. 2, just because you can be the embodiment of something does not mean you have the physical properties. Him having Helios's head on his hip does not mean he's carrying the weight of the sun. I.e., is everything in the vicinity getting burned by Helios? Because if he has the same properties of a sun, then he would be giving off those properties at all times. There's nothing burning in his wake unless he applies those powers. And I'm not saying he can't, but there's no way to say that head alone weighs as much as a star. Now we're talking about stars, and I'll give you all that bullshit. You said 45 million stars. Drew, can you drop the scale, please?
Where do you want to start at? This is where we are. You want to start here?
No, go up next after that. How hard do Thor hit? I already told you. He's strong enough to incap omniversal beings. I showed you guys him knocking out Galactus. And then for judges' sake, Universal and Universal Plus is a solid tiering. Multiversal and then into Omniversal. That is the level that I showed you guys Thor is at. And then you guys BMT has said that his maximum punching strength, whatever he came up with, he put it at Universal Plus. My bad. Can you throw that scan back up? Here in this scan, show the one before it. Thor uses the Odin Force. Oh no. There it go. Basically, he uses the Odin Force. It'll show you he can instantly terraform the environment. He basically brought the living. This is also after the entity was removed from Mjolnir. So all this Mjolnir powering him up and shit, he don't need him. This is fully capable of him doing that without Mjolnir. You see those suns in there and shit? Next scan, please. It says that Thor instantly created, man.
This one, right?
Yep. If you can see, Thor put the entity of Mjolnir. No. You had it before, the one with Mjolnir still. Right here. I'm gonna highlight the text. It say the heat of 1,000,000,000 suns. And if you saw the scan before, you see the constructs of the suns. He was able to instantly terraform the environment to produce the heat of 1,000,000,000 suns. And not only was he able to withstand that, no problem, so was the Mjolnir entity. So whatever that 45 million you got, that's false. 2, it's not compromised on Mjolnir or Thor. Like he's him by himself. You can go ahead and get rid of the scan. Now I would like to address you pointing out people he's been defeated by. That ignores all the context. That ignores all of the plot.
His official clock is running out, but I've been giving him an extra minute and a half as they roll on. So,
well, basically, I'm just saying that you pinpointing his defeats as anti-feats doesn't really mean too much, because there's things as plot-induced stupidity, multitude of writers, and even with those low showings, they don't denote his capability. I've showed what Thor is capable of doing. I showed what he's consistently going to output. And of course, you're saying things like he lost to Captain America. Well, in that aspect, because you didn't give context, we would know he's holding out. Did the entire planet get destroyed in that bout? No.
That's so.
I just want to say to the comments, I'm only here so I don't get fined. All right, that's the clock. All black. If you,
that's crazy.
That's hella funny. All right, man.
Still got rebuttal, so hold it in, bro.
Yeah, you think we should give a rebuttal to the conclusion round?
For sure, we definitely. All
right, go ahead, BMT.
Let me unmute. Go ahead.
So I heard from that of the Thor liaison that his losses that I showed you, like he said, he knocked out the Phoenix, but then when the Phoenix Force came back with the 5, they were running a fade on him very easily every time he ran into that boy, and they were giving him those hands. Hell, even Colossus took his hammer. Again, I told y'all, this man be losing his hammer like kids be losing their shoes and shit. Like you never had a time where anybody ever took any of Kratos' weapons from him. This man has had his weapons taken by a little scrawny girl with cancer. That's a fact. He's been low dip by his own daddy. Kratos has never been. They tried to dip him. He just came back stronger and said, "I don't need power. I'll just kill y'all and take y'all power. Y'all can keep those powers. I'll take your powers." That's the comparison, and we're looking at that of the power. Now, I brought up that of how the hit. Poseidon was able to hit that of Atlas with one hit and knock that of the Titan that holds up the cosmos of the heavens down with one hit. Kratos threw hands with him and beat him and gouged out his eyes. So in other words, Kratos was taking that of the hit of the universes to his face and still beat him. I want you to understand that. Kratos kept up with that of a being that runs at 1.2 x mag 2023 8.68 tillions and kept up with that. Now we come to that of understanding that of the pantheons, and this is why I said the Greek gods are that of the elements of actual magic and fire of nature, versus that of the Asgardians of that of emotions. It's a different spectrum. When it came to that, this is why it was easier for Kratos to maneuver through that of the Norse mythology, because that of his Spartan rage. This is why when I showed that when he fought Man, that of the embodiment of the ancient gods that dwell in the Norse mythology, his rage surpassed that of rage that existed before that of Odin. and he beat that rage to submission. Also, when it came to that of Gaia's son, who also was born before that of pre-time and space, Kratos, before he was that of a god, who already burnt that of Gaia's son, Giga, he burnt that of the blades of chaos, which literally is that of the heat. That is the Big Bang, which was spoken about that of the one above all. So you got to think that man carries the force of power that old.
Done. All black. Here's your rebuttal time.
Basically, I just want to reiterate that my opponent still hasn't substantiated anything with concrete facts or nothing that's headcanon or misinformation. I will ask you, what is his durability? He's able to be punctured by a wooden spire. What is his speed? He's able to combat somebody that hasn't showcased the same type of speed you're talking about, and that person was the issue for him. Baldur does not have this speed backing that Kratos has, that you've given him. Yet he was able to fight on par with him. He was able to react to him. So what is the speed that you want Kratos to be at? All of these things are in Thor's advantage. Basically, there's, as I've showed with the type of being he's fought, his speed and his agility, basically there's no way Kratos can even hit him. Yes, we're arguing game mechanics. He specifically chose game Kratos, not composite Kratos, not lore Kratos. He specifically chose game Kratos, and it was supposed to be a sweep or whatever, but he must have got that shit confused. So back to it. All that we show in the game is what we have to go off of. Like I said, he's died by that spire. You're telling me that if Thor throws this hammer that's able to knock out Galactus, an omniversal being, knock out the Phoenix Force, a primordial energy, in one shot, that it's not going to pierce and obliterate Kratos after he's been pierced by a spire? Let alone would he be able to even react or catch Thor? Thor is a cosmic being. He's not bound to the planetary plane. Can you show Kratos even existing in space? Whatever plane we're playing on, the output of Thor will destroy the battlefield. If you cannot exist and combat in the void of nothingness or space, then you have nothing to do. You will sit there and float aimlessly. There's no showings for Kratos doing such. He has not fought in space. Like you said, physics, you need surface area to apply. You need surface area to apply friction for pressure. You can't walk in space. You can't run in space. That's nothing to Thor. So I just feel like overall, with agility, my power output, my energy output, physicality, durability, it just outweighs Kratos. Okay, he can be erased. Okay, he will be a physical bunch of spaghetti, my nigga. He'll be sentient, he'll be conscious, sure, but his body bits will be dispersed. And then that's like saying, okay, if he gets atomized, if Thor like he's doing right against the spirit of Mjolnir. If I bring out those 5 billion suns and I atomize Kratos, what is he going to do? There's nothing left to regen from.
All right, so that's your round, bro?
Well, as they say, better late than not at all.
That was a good one. That was perfect timing, actually.
Way to use that one.
Yes, sir. Good job. All right, judges. On the left-hand side, we got our man Thor. On the right-hand side, we got our man BMT. Tap or cap. Who you tapping in with? Who you going with? You know what I'm saying? Tap for Thor, cap for Kratos. What we doing? Let's start it off with my boy Battle Junkies. Give me your favorite, man. What's your ruling?
This was a tough one. All Black came back to make it a close call toward the end. It was one-sided for the first half. I still probably have to give it to BMT, man. He swayed me. I like I said, I'm a last-minute judge. Came into this kind of favoring Thor for a landslide, and from he didn't really present true caps in my opinion, but he did quantify it like with the lore, because there is in-game lore. If you take Hermes, I think with the boost of Hermes, he'll be able to keep up with Thor in a fair one-on-one fight. I think Kratos has a lot of hacks abilities and a lot of hacks weapons. Sword of Olympus being one of the main ones that could put down Thor, in my opinion. Thor's Mjolnir, very powerful, but Kratos has shown to be tanky and has regen abilities that BMT presented. I think All Black missed out on good opportunities as far as bringing up other forms of Thor, because there's like All Father Thor with the eyes that can see like the present and the past. Yeah, a Rune Thor. Different iterations. I think could have helped the case out, swayed me a little bit more. But as of right now, I'm gonna say BMT had a better argument.
All right, let's go to our boy Jew. That's one favorite for Kratos. That's one cap. What we got, man?
All right. Again, I came in here with Thor, so I'm leaving with Thor because I like the ending, the conclusion part that All Black presented, and I like what the comments were throwing out there as well. On that omniversal and outer realm shit out off the land, Kratos does not have any feats for fighting in outer space and fighting omnious beings and stuff like that. He doesn't in game. I don't know what y'all can pull from the lore from anywhere else, but in game he can't fight. I ain't seen him fight in outer space, and he cannot fly. Thor can fly. So that's definitely
he's wrong with that one.
He has the wings of Icarus. He can fly.
Right.
But I mean, all right. I mean, can't in outer space though? Like, has he been there? Like,
no, not in outer space.
No. All right, I like that. But I do want to say, I feel like All Black missed a lot of key points when it came to Thor. And Duce said what I wanted to hear the whole fucking time in the conclusion is this nigga Kratos ain't even beat Thor in his own game. Odin had to come kill Thor, and Thor killed Kratos and brought the nigga back. Like, no, you die when I want you to. Bring your ass back and straight electrocuted this motherfucking ass. Like, hey, bitch, come here. My thing is, if you can't beat Thor in your own motherfucking game with a nigga who is not as fucking OP as comic book Thor, you're not fucking with this guy. But I do like how bruh kept bringing up the key points for the hammer being lost. That was definitely something that could very hinder this motherfucker. You feel me? But then All Black brought in the fucking what is that? What is that? Odin Force Thor, right? The Runen. He doesn't need that anymore. And we're going to go different versions of Thor in comic. He does not need it, and All Black brought that to the table. He don't need that hammer. So all that hammer being took shit really goes out the window with that statement that All Black made. It's not needed at all. So like, I'm still here for Thor. I thought bro could have did better. It was really the scans for me. It wasn't per se his presentation verbally.
Good.
He was kind of lacking that aggressiveness and that push. You feel me? BMT was talking that shit, making it sound real logical and professional. But it was the scans for me basically. The scans put back more so than you did, Black. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Thor, man. I'm gonna stick with Thor.
All right, we got 1-1. Now we gonna go ahead and go with my vote, man. And I'm pretty sure the viewers already know where I'm going with it. I'm sure All Black knows where I'm going. I'm sure BMT knows where I'm going with it. I'm gonna give my favorite to BMT. Reasons why. One, just what my boy Jew just said, All Black's arguments wasn't as good as his scans. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of debaters who are watching this. I mean, we got some debaters right now in the comments who know these scans and could have delivered it in a way where, as literally, bro, both of our judges literally admitted they're going into this episode saying, I have Thor up. But by the argument of BMT, which what this debate is who has the better debate. Everybody across the board said that BMT has the better debate. We're just going on our own biasness by saying that the scans prove that Thor is better from what Jew was saying, that the scans were better. But in a actual debate, All Black lost it. So I could not in good conscience say, oh, BMT lost, even if Thor could win, because All Black didn't present it in the way that he should have. Second point, there was a lot of he made it simple. He didn't make it complex detail. Show scans. So yeah, so the thing past that is that there was a lot of hypocritical statements, such as what my boy Jew said. He said that, Kratos never fought in space, but he's literally fighting in multi dimensions. Yet at the same time, Red Hulk doesn't fly, but we literally showed you a scan where Red Hulk is beating Thor's ass in outer space, but the nigga don't fly. It doesn't fly. So that to me is not a good example of, well, if it's in space, then then what? Kratos loses because it's in space because it wasn't shown. But yet at the same time, Red Hulk, who cannot fly, even though Kratos can fly and could not be defeated by omnipotent beings, is going to lose in outer space. That's not a strong argument. Then we brought up the fact that, if Thor can beat Kratos in his own game, then how is it that Kratos is going to beat the comic book Thor? Okay, well, when you bring up that feat, that's the same way of saying how BMT said that Kratos killed Hercules. Okay, Thor has lost to Hercules. He pointed out that fact as well. So are we going to sit here and say that, then it's no real debate if Hercules was whooped by Kratos and stumped through, but in comic book lore for Thor, he wasn't able to beat Hercules? You know what I'm saying? It's the same argument that my boy Kapachi said, you're cross scanning. You know what I'm saying?
That was a weak version, and he brought on a more powerful Thor. That's what I'm saying. When y'all brought that was a weaker version of Thor that lost to Hercules. That Thor that he ended with, the Ronin Thor, Odin Force Thor, is a different. Okay,
and then with that example being said as well, the Odin Force Thor, the same Thor that we talking about, lost to Captain America. Captain America, it's a fact. BMT knows. I have to scan myself. I mean, I could pull it up myself, but this is not my debate.
Rune Thor?
It was no, it wasn't Rune Thor. Rune Thor is a different Thor. It's Odin
Thor,
yeah, Odin Force Thor. So he fought against Hulk. He fought against my boy what's his name? Doctor Strange. He fought against Wolverine. He knocked them all out. Captain America was able to defeat him right after that fight. So the fact that Captain America, as he said, a super soldier, not a Hulk, not a omnipotent being, not a god, nothing, was able to beat Odin Force Thor. So as high as his feats is, if we caliber his losses, it's a lot of, it's not consistency. It's no consistency. Last thing I want to point out, again, too many hypocritical statements. Two hypocritical statements that All Black made. One, he said that just because a character is omnipotent and he's this powerful doesn't mean he can't have a glass jaw. He said that against BMT, but then you bring up the feat of Thor.
You misconstruing
what I'm saying. Hold on, don't. This is my judgment. Don't do that. So, like I said, and then that's another point right there. I wasn't gonna bring that up. Showsmanship. We literally kept saying, bro, shut the fuck up. How you gonna sit here and have a debate and everybody keep on saying, yo, bro, give him his time, yada yada yada, and you keep on, I'm gonna keep saying my point. You can't do that, bro. You want us to be in favor of you, but you're not being fair to us as judges or your opponent. Come on, my G. That's not how we do it. That's not showsmanship. You feel me? Now, my 2 points I was gonna say is about the hypocritical statements. One, were you saying that he whooped Galactus and all that stuff? How does your feats amount to those feats? Because it's a Galactus and all these high tier characters, and then you're sitting here saying, but you could be that character and have a glass jaw. But doesn't that mean that also applies to your feats? If you're saying that to BMT, does that not also apply to your feats? So then now you're low scaling your own feats that you're saying, because what's the point of even bringing up feats of saying, oh, he whooped this character as a high feat, and you're like, oh, well, he has a glass jaw. Okay, well then same thing can be said for your character as well when he goes against these high tier characters. Last point I was gonna say, I have more, but this is all just on like, you know what I mean, like mental notes. Last point I was gonna say. Go off, Con. Jew. Jew.
Hey, pause him real quick, ladies. I don't even know neither one of y'all, but that is hilarious. Y'all was going off this whole chat. I appreciate y'all, but I don't know what's going on. Y'all calling each other thotties and shit. Let's all be love and peace. Love and happiness. We ain't got to be thotties or nothing. You feel me? It's all good.
Right. Last point I was going to say, man. You cannot harbor on the fact of mechanics as a strong rebuttal round. I feel like a lot of your rebuttal round was wasted based on just harboring on the mechanics of the video game versus the actual feats. Had you had, again, BMT was actually showing you multiple scans of your character having inconsistent feats. You didn't do that. You just said that, nah, nothing that he's saying makes sense. Nah, this don't make this doesn't accumulate to this. Then you also said, hey, well, if you're gonna sit here and say these feats, then give me an actual quantifiable feat. Give me a range of mathematics to make it make sense. And then the moment that BMT did that, it said, okay, well, this is how fast this is. This is how strong this is. Then you said, oh, well, you can't bring physics into comics. You can't bring physics into the lore. You can't bring physics into the video game. So it's inconsistent. The argument is inconsistent. You can't sit here and say, oh, you want somebody to bring in those things to make them legit, and then when he does it, oh, it's still not legit because it's a video game or it's a comic. That's not, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of hypocritical statements that you were making. You got to be consistent in your argument, my G. So again, just based off of it could have, like I said, by skins, I can see Thor win easily. I can see it, but based on the argument, based on the inconsistency, based on the showsmanship, I have to give it to BMT. Respect to both of you guys. Thank y'all for coming through. Great debate, but in favor 2-1, we got to give it to BMT as the winner. And as the show, like we said, that's gonna be Cap.
Cap! That's Cap! That's Cap!
My bad. I scrolled down too fucking far.
You all good. All right. Go ahead, let they mute off.
All Black, you have something to say, so go ahead and say what you have to say.
I'm saying, I mean, if you misunderstand my argument, there ain't much I could do. Y'all saying he presented a better argument. What's his argument? He didn't say one single thing that he'll do. Like, he didn't apply any of his feats to killing me or killing Thor. How's he gonna catch me? I already said my game plan is to go into space. He can't operate in space. Like, I don't understand. Like, you saying it's about the debate and the argument presented, and that's how you're judging, yet you're dismissing my strategy and feats because he presented his better in a sense. And like I said, that's the main issue. With no way for him to, or me to, like, sort out misinformation, what's valid or not, he could literally say whatever he wants. And that's what I meant by his shit being unquantified. He could say whatever he wants, and y'all would just have to take it as is. The reason I stuck with omniversal and I gave you tiers and scaling of the type of characters Thor has fought, that's what you can stand on. That's on paper. On paper, I still don't know what he brought yet. Like, if I could, and then you're saying I won on scans. That's part of my argument. So how can I win a major part of the argument, which is feats, and lose because he presented a better inaccurate argument? Again, I can argue I can make a hell of an argument and be wrong.
Facts. BMT.
Okay, so I literally, because I showed that of the comparison of his world, his mythology, my mythology, and the pantheons. So I was actually comparing and weaving that of the rope of how they mix. One, they're pantheon beings. I was actually using pantheon beings like Hercules, Ares. These are guys that both of these characters have run into, and literally their encounters. Now, Thor is not the type of being to pull some pussy ass shit and fly away and just pew 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 pew. No, that's not. That's looked down on as an Asgard warrior. Thor is going to actually throw hands. Thor is not. That is always how Thor has been. We can pull that up in all the comics. If that's the case, then Thor would have not fought Steve Rogers straight up. He would have gone away from him. He would have not fought Hulk straight up. He flew away. You understand what I'm saying? So multiple times, hell, Thor has no problem. If you always look at the comics, Thor has no problem doing what? Charging into battle. Thor has, look at the characteristics of Thor. Thor doesn't say, well, I'm going to go strategize. Thor's strategy is smash. Kratos is an honorable warrior. Kratos, go ahead.
Oh, really quick, let me just chime in real quick. All Black, the way I judge, I know you said you had a strategy. BMP termed on it. I don't take your strategy of what you would do with Thor, because that's I can't base that character off of that. You know what I mean? Who knows what you would do? You could be hella more creative with you as Thor. The way I would picture it is taking all your feats and stuff into accountability and how Thor would use that in the actual fight. And BMP, again, chimed on it. Thor is honorable. He wouldn't just, oh, okay, this guy's a threat. I'm going to take him straight to space. That's not how he would fight. Especially against another deity god. Like, they would catch the fade. And the way he addressed your argument of his speed feats, like, I know you showed the stand of him keeping up with Quicksilver, which is an amazing feat. Like, that's undeniably fast as fuck, right? But just like how gameplay can't really accurately present that to actually enjoy the game, they had to slow down that comic panel for us just to see them actually traveling that fast. And then we have to assume otherwise that they are going that fast. And if that were to be seen in real life, we wouldn't be able to see it, right? He demonstrated that with addressing it with saying that he fought Valkyries that transport depth. To me, that equates in a battlefield space when they're going against each other. So that equates. He answered that your feat of that. And that's just kind of the way I was judging it. I wasn't judging it on who was the better showsmanship. Because again, it does kind of show off of that, but at the same time, if you address the arguments, you address the arguments. Oh, and that's all I had to say.
Go ahead. Go ahead, BMP. Go ahead.
I try to look at that in the debate. I look at that of the character's persona of how they address their situation as the writers have written them. We can't go off of we opinionated outside. Like somebody said, well, Captain America, Thor should easily have just broke his legs, but Thor didn't do that. Cap ran the fade when he was Thor Odin's son, the king of Asgard, and Captain America in the panel, as I showed you when it's put in the script, he took him down. You cannot, and after you have to honor that of a loss. A loss is a loss. You cannot say that does not count, but in the comics, that it happened. If the Phoenix Force 5, just like he knocked out the Phoenix, but when they took over, when the X-Men had the Phoenix Force, they were running the fade on Thor. You know how many gods have jumped Kratos, and Kratos had just started, hey, I'm just going to kill all of you. The difference of Thor, he'll get into a fight, and he tries not to, if he can help it, not kill his opponent. Kratos doesn't think like that. Kratos comes from a time period, if I fight you, I have to kill you. Only until this God of War, Kratos started going a different path of training and mentoring his son in the Spartan rage and how that of a warrior. So Kratos didn't get weaker If anything, he was dipping himself to train his child. If that was the case, that's why he referred to Odin. If you keep pressing at me and touch my son, I'm going to show you the old Greek god that y'all fear. That means he was always holding back. Again, Thor has done amazing feats, but Thor has a lot of emotional weaknesses that he deals with. That's what makes Thor a god that literally Odin was training him. Thor needed to be humble. That's why he wasn't ready to be king. Odin said it himself. You can't deny that. Kratos never cared to be king. Kratos just wanted to be left the fuck alone. That's why I brought up in my introduction that Kratos is a force of nature. He's a god slayer. He kills gods. That is his nature of what Kratos does. That's his nature. So you can't overlook that of what the writers wrote the characters to be. Whether we want to or not, that's what it is.
So, Khan, can I ask
I can't. Yes, you can.
Let me go.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and then I do want to ask you a question, BMT. So, Khan, damn, hold on, I lost it a little bit. Well, I'm gonna ask my question to BMT first. So, if we're going to be taking account anti-feats and these low showings of Thor as plot, which regarding plot basically of why he lost. So when Kratos in game is damaged by all of the fodder enemies who you have to fight, who can damage him in game, are those not anti-feats? Those aren't omniversal beings.
What?
Why does that not work?
Are you serious?
That's the plot of God of War. Are those beings not able to damage him?
Sir, what? Okay, let me answer that, because before BMC even answered, bro, you are okay. First of all, as a debater, this is something that you chose. You chose to say video game versus comic, correct? That was you put this out, correct? Correct? All right.
Yeah.
Bet. So when you compare a video game, bro, you cannot say just because a character can possibly lose by the user who's playing the video game doesn't mean that the character lost. The character goes throughout the video game knocking all these motherfuckers off. You can't say that, it's canon that he has lost to fodder people when it's the user who loses to those characters, not the actual character in the video game. That's not a good. And if it did happen, then that's why you should have screenshot and said, he lost to this fodder character. You got to point those out, bro. You can't sit here and be like, you mad that he brought up fodder characters that Thor lost to comic book wise, and then go mechanic in the video game fodder characters that can beat Thor based off of the the user in the video game trying to get through to the end of the video game. That doesn't. It's not. It doesn't
beat him regardless. Because I'm not saying that they can outright beat him. I'm saying that they can harm him in that game. And regardless, I'm saying you can't ignore the context for my shit. The context of Thor losing in his storylines, but ignore the context for Kratos possibly taking damage by fodder people in his game.
Yeah, but those characters we're still talking about characters that are not human. These characters were created by other gods. Hold on. These characters are either undead or some type of being. They're not human. Their strength level, their durability, all that shit is way past Captain America.
No, they're not.
All right.
Okay, can I address that from my point of view? So I think any character, just like if you train in any like actual physical combat sport, like like a champion, the world champion can get knocked out by a nobody on any given fucking night. You know what I mean? Like a loss doesn't equate to him. If the world champion gets knocked out by a nigga on the street, he doesn't stop becoming the world champ. You feel me? Like it fucking happens. It just happens. And there's plot for both. If you're gonna say it's bad story writing, there's writing for game mechanics. And I look at video games as just a new form of media with filler in between. They gotta give you shit to do. But in between that is showing that those characters are harming him. But it's also game mechanics that he's healing at a rapid speed. Like he's regenerating immensely, like after every fucking kill, and he's killing sloths of these niggas. but the actual lore of the game is shown through cinematics in the game lore. So, like, yeah, it's assumed that Kratos wiped out 1,000 Minotaurs to get to the first Titan and then slaughter that Titan and then more game shit and then puzzles. But when these two is just, yeah, those are like fucking chimeras and giants and trolls. He's killing them by the thousands in the game and regenning and healing. The game developers want you to succeed at the very end of the game. Like, they don't want you to lose on the very first game. Like, well, that's what's supposed to happen. Supposed to happen is him making it all the way to the very last level, to the very last boss, to Odin, to whoever is the last. But that's just how I view the video game media in battles.
Let BMT go ahead, pal.
I made sure I brought up in the debate about how genetically, not even just him himself, he was showing Atreus how to heal after fighting. Like, he would tell Atreus, stop, focus, harness your god blood. And what Atreus started doing, he started healing all. Mind you, he had laceration all over his face, his body, his arms and stuff, even his clothes. They all healed up. Same thing when he fought Baldur and he was in the rock and he said, I'm going to whoever's in that house. What did Kratos do? When he used the Spartan Rage, what I brought up, any inflicted wound upon that of the god of war, it will immediately heal. And he will take that damage and amplify it over 4 multi-universal damage. That's what he's hitting at. I also brought up when he went to meet Surtur and he was holding the blades of the primordial fire. That was in space. He went to space to go talk with Surtur. But I didn't get to show y'all the scans. But if y'all were asking about him going to space, again, they're gods. They technically don't need air. Like, you got to think, a lot of their battles is in hell. When I brought up that of going to hell, which is in the Norse mythology, Thor went down there to hell. What happened to him when he went down there over Loki's daughter? Loki's daughter had her way with Thor. Kratos didn't have that problem going down there. Him and his son walking around there. That just shows you they're built differently by the elements. What affects that of the Asgardian? I'm bringing up your Asgardian physiology, which is important. He's not affected by that. The same thing with Surtur. Surtur is Ragnarok. No matter what in your comics, Surtur is going to destroy Ragnarok. Atreus, Kratos' son, and Kratos are the bringers of Ragnarok. So no matter what, Ragnarok will come towards. If Kratos meets Thor, that's why Kratos said, "Yo, let's not do this." If anything, throughout the whole game, you play the whole game, he kept saying, "I'd rather us go home." They would have let Kratos go home. Those gods would have died. They kept messing with him and his boy, so they caused their own Ragnarok. You can't overlook that as Thor Ragnarok, because it is already foretold Thor will die in Ragnarok. So no matter how it happened, whether he fights in the battle with Jormungandr and gets poisoned, which is in the comics or whatever, Thor is going to die. Lady Sif and them already told him that. That's why he even told him, hey, whether it's game mechanic or not, hey, if we bring Ragnarok, you're going to die. And the only reason why Kratos didn't want to kill him was he said, my son likes your daughter. So, off of that, that's why he didn't want to kill Thor. Because his son liked his daughter. Other than that, he didn't have no problem killing him. So that's straight up game. That is game. I'm bringing all. You see how I'm trying to mix them all together of how it works with the Norse mythology. Ragnarok is Kratos. He's the end for every pantheon. Leave him alone.
Khan, before this shit started, did we not say lore is not in? You was there too. Lore is in this shit.
What we said was we wasn't going just based off lore. We're going off video.
I asked for composite.
Hold on. You said hold on. First and foremost, you can't sit here and say composite Thor, right? Composite means every fucking thing. Can't say composite Thor, nigga. You have everything, bro. You have Rune Thor, all these niggas, Odin Force Thor, every single thing at your arsenal and then say, oh, yo, you only constricted to the video game. Even with the video game, bro, as fucking Battle Junkie said, and your own people in Universal Debates in the comments said, there's lore in the video game. That's what you keep forgetting. There's lore in the video game. So some things that happen in the lore actually happens in the video game, and the things that are quantified in the video games are quantified by the Thor. They are mixed together. You can't sit here and say that they're non-existent together, like that one is separate and the other one is a whole nother thing. They are mixed in the video game, bro. That's what it is.
But the things that he showed aren't correlating with what he brought up.
What?
Like, okay, for the most part, it's like you keep saying he flipped the 9 realms. You flipping your 9 realms is not me like flipping my 9 realms. I already said that that's different.
That was the temple of King. You know, bro. Like literally,
I'm saying, regardless of all that shit, when we started this, we said,
one thing.
I went to your temple.
Let me hear what Strawhead got to say. Let me hear what Strawhead got to say. Go ahead.
All Black. I don't know if you read the private chat, but I said it already. You know why you really lost though? You did not use your arsenal well enough. For one thing, you missed 2 things actually. One was Duce's comment about Thor beating Kratos in his own game. BMT did very well at showing losses that Thor has taken in his own universe. You failed to mention 7 losses that Kratos has taken in his own universe to counter everything BMT was saying. So like BMT
I did though. The wood. What about him getting stabbed with the wood? Y'all ignore that.
Was one person versus this nigga bringing up 7 or 8 motherfuckers that have whooped on.
It don't denote the one.
It does though, because you're only showing and saying that he's only lost 1 time versus beating a.
Look at what Kompaki said, bro. Look at what Kompaki said.
It's not composite Thor. That's what I'm saying.
You said it was composite Thor from the get-go.
It's comic Thor. Current comic Thor. That's what we said. No, because you can. BMT can clarify. BMT can clarify. BMT.
Odin Thor, base Thor, the fucking
comic book composite.
It's current Thor, current All-Father Thor. That's where he's at currently. That's all the scams I've used.
You only use what you said, and this is what I'm gonna tell you, All Black. You said I'm only gonna use Mjolnir. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to use other weapons. Like, the other judges were like, wait, so
you belittled your own.
You didn't bring up the other weapons. I brought up one of your other weapons. I brought it up. Like, you didn't even bring your own weapons. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay, this is the aspect. You guys want a good argument, but it's like this. Okay, Mjolnir destroys omniversal being. Does Kratos have a comparable feat? No.
So basically, what you're saying is,
I brought up the Blade of Olympus. What are you talking about? The Blade of Olympus does that.
The Blade of Olympus is omniversal.
Hold on. So look. Basically, what you're saying is because Thor's feet scan so high, you felt as though you can ride the back seat on just his scans and not being able to have a good argument. Because
my argument is he blitzed Kratos.
You literally just said that because of the scans scale so high, you didn't need to present a good argument. BMT across the board from all 3 judges, 2 of them who both had you in a bias, admittedly, both of them came into this saying, I got Thor up. I already know it's gonna be a slaughter. You convinced motherfuckers that came into the live as a slaughter to say, you know what? I think Kratos might win this. That speaks to your argument.
Yeah, and me losing is because he said more stuff. Like I said, if you as judges look at what I presented,
that's what the debate is about.
No, it's about what's substantiated. Like, what do you? That's like saying, like I said.
You not know how a debate works.
Look at the feats. Who wins in feats? Who wins in strength? Who has the higher strength? Who's faster?
I literally
like, okay, then, I'll ask the judges. Who won the strength category?
Faster, but look at Flash.
No, judges. Who won the strength category?
Person have been hit by motherfuckers who shouldn't have hit them. It's just like, just because you're fast don't mean you can't be touched.
So,
and then he literally said the deity, the god of speed, which Thor and all these motherfuckers are compared to, is the nigga that Kratos beat and took his shoes to run that fast.
Yes, but you're going to use outside lore and not his feats in game. Are you not?
That's in the game.
No, I said so. His feats in game do not give him this infinite speed. You can scale his feats.
You're only saying that because it doesn't show him moving at that speed.
Exactly. But there's no feats. Only statements.
It doesn't show him moving at that speed. But if Hermes is that god who moves at that speed and he takes his power, that means that he's able to move at that speed. So now you're going through semantics at this point.
No, he's able to move at the speed displayed in game because that's the same speed that Hermes moves at in game. Would you not need outside lore to substantiate how fast he moves? BMT, did you not use outside lore to substantiate him moving that fast? Yes. But I'm just saying, I'm okay with the judgment. I'm just asking you. I'm saying from the beginning, we said it's a piloted. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna finish first.
Ask a question.
Before we started all this, did we not say it's a piloted scenario? We're looking for I specifically wanted application and strategy. The new judge already said he's dismissing strategy because it's not our point of view. That's exactly what this is. We know we're not tiering these characters. We're not tiering. We're not saying who tiers higher. We're saying my Thor versus his God of War. Kratos in his hands, what's his game plan? Thor in my hands, what's my game plan?
You asked for what if scenarios, man. That's more
I just brought up space and there was no counter argument.
And we literally told you how that shit doesn't matter. Like all three judges are telling you that shit does not make sense.
Why does it not matter?
Because you're saying BMT. Just because Kratos wasn't shown to not fight in space does not mean that he cannot. If you show a feat where it's like, oh, Kratos put in space, he can't fight, then boom, that's the argument.
How do you have that? So because Kratos is never shown not being able to fight in space, he can fight in space.
Exactly, because he fights gods that exist outside of time and space.
Where?
Come on, dude. He literally fought Fate. He fought Zeus. All these
and all the scans that BMT showed, he's fighting Fate on a plane. There is a foot.
That doesn't matter. It's a video
does because
game.
How can you run in space if you can't put your feet on something?
That you cannot fight in space. That doesn't.
How do you fight in space if you can't put your feet on the ground?
The same way that Red Hulk whipped his ass in space. The same way.
Exactly. So so then he showed that. Can I show the context of why Red Hulk won?
Show me.
Because that's exactly what I'm talking about too. You can provide as much misinformation as you want.
Okay, go show me.
I did bring up. I just want y'all to state this for the judges. Did I not bring up the sisters who control time and space, and he killed them? Did I not bring up the sisters of fate? Okay, so, and I said he killed that and removed himself from existing itself.
Thank you. Bro, that's other motherfuckers that's in your favor saying the same thing, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, your argument was so bad that people are in your favor who all have Thor up are agreeing with the motherfucker you're debating against. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, you're saying my argument. What's wrong with my argument?
Thor is going to win, and you present arguments to where it's
their bias has no effect on the match. So it's moot to bring it up. I'm asking
more so like BMT
from what I brought, Thor is faster. From what I brought up, Thor is faster.
Brought a knife to a gunfight, bro, but you didn't shoot the nigga. You tried to pistol whip him, and he shanked your ass. It was more so like he brought a knife to a gunfight, but you decided not to shoot, and you wanted to pistol whip a nigga because you thought, oh, he got a knife, I got a gun, it's heavier type shit. It's like, no, that nigga shanked your ass because you didn't shoot him. You should have shot his ass. The artillery that you had, bro. You should have shot.
Y'all are ignoring.
No, we're not. It's the presentation.
Okay, then. So, what is an omniverse of being Kratos' gift?
We know the.
Oh, time out. Before you even go in all black, I'm waiting for you to show the scan about Red Hulk. Why was he able to fight in space? I'm waiting for that.
Drop it in the chat. I'll pull it up on the fucking thing.
I showed it. I showed it.
You didn't use your like this, bro. I just dropped it, like, bro. Like he did. He brought up ways that fucking what's the name lost. You could have used this right here to show how fucking Kratos has lost to Hercules, Zeus, Barbarian King, Ares, as well as Demois and Sharon. But you didn't use your bullets. You just tried to pistol whip a nigga, and your opening statement was, oh, I don't need nothing else because I have Mjolnir.
You literally said it. I don't need all my arsenal. I don't need all the shit that I got to actually whoop this nigga ass.
And like I said earlier, when I voted, I said by scans you would win because you showed that it could happen, but you did not verbally present, in your best favor. You feel me? It wasn't presented how it was shown. You feel me? We all read the comments. We know what is possible, but in the debate, it's your argument against another person's argument. And who held they own. That's like a motherfucker lying on somebody, but they making it sound good, and the other motherfucker just like shook and don't know how to counter that shit. They made it sound good.
I brought up.
All right, drop it in the chat or drop it in Facebook.
Drop it in our where you been giving me the scans, and I'll learn it right now.
When I brought up that of the potency of how hard his opponents were hitting. I brought up Poseidon was hitting Titans at a universal level, the Titan Atlas. And Kratos in God of War 3. Now that's giving a reference. I never heard a comment with reference of issue or anything from my opponent. I brought up gaming references of what gaming. Ascension, Chains of Olympus, God of War 3, 5. I brought up when Kratos accomplished that feat. Taking blows to the face at a universal punch repeatedly, or taking red suns to the face from Helios, those are feats that he did.
And BMT, can I ask you a question? Do you know that universal is below omniversal? No, play the one before it. You got to go to the scan before this. There we go.
Oh, you already put it in.
He specifically dragged him into space where the enchantment didn't work because there's no gravity. But he can send out as much misinformation as he wants because I can't explain all the plot of all of Thor's showings.
Why would you not be able to?
Knew this.
I mean, didn't Thor lose to Battery Bill before he even had a hammer? That's how he got his hammer. He took it away from Thor and beat him up with it. Like he's shown that his hammer has been able to been taken away from him from lesser beings, Captain America, Thor, Magneto.
So Kratos is worthy.
Possibly, yeah. He has, yeah. Possibly, he has God deity in him,
bro.
He literally has. He's a god, so possibly, yeah.
You're literally seeing
the fucking Black Widow picked it up, like.
You're literally seeing the whole and not being able to combat your own points, my guy. Like,
okay, John, what point are you talking about?
You just said, bro. You literally just said. Oh, so that means. Go ahead.
No, I'm asking. That's him. I'm waiting for you.
So I'm saying you literally just said.
No, I was going to tell you.
Oh, go ahead.
I brought up in your case. I brought up in your case about your hammer that multiple different people, not even good people, have picked up your weapon and used it on you. Versus Kratos has never had his weapon taken from him and beat on him like that. Like that's something of your storyline where different people have taken your hammer or broke it. Nobody's ever broke the blade.
And as I just showed Khan, there's context
argue that if it's in the story that different people.
As I just bring up the scan, there's context that
I want to read the context, my guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, read it.
Read it. Go ahead.
It specifically talks about them being zero gravity.
Bro said, all right, first flight. Go back to the first one, bro. That's the second one, Khan. There we go. So he says, first panel is I've actually studied you, Thor. I don't mind telling you that your battle skills are legendary, but like Attila and I don't know how to say that shit. And even the Green Hulk, there's always a battle where one man falls and the other doesn't. To take my hammer, this is not possible unless my father's absence. Hey, you've confused me with someone who gives a fuck. I know all about your little secret, how no one can lift your hammer. Cute trick, unless all I'm doing is jumping with you holding on tight. Go to the second one, bro. Go to the second one.
Oh my lord.
He says, first panel, unless you're in zero gravity in Odin's name, give it a rest. He punches the shit out and says, "Gotta hold my breath now, so I gotta run something." Then he just smacks him. I really don't understand the time. He said, "Beast, I have no such malady to take air." Damn, the shit keep flying over. Malady to take air or be still. I will take you back to Earth. And I don't know what happened after that panel.
So with the own scan that you just provided, the same nigga you just said Kratos can't live outer space. Red Hulk can't live outer space. The nigga just said, I gotta hold my breath. The nigga jumped with his own hammer, took it from him, held his breath, and beat the nigga ass with his own hammer. And that's the scan that you provided as a defense.
Yeah, did you see why he could do it? Did you read it all?
Make it make sense. Okay,
there's no gravity. That means there's no downward force.
The same argument what you're saying is this is why Kratos would lose against Thor. You just showed a reason why he would win.
How?
What?
Can Kratos jump to the fucking space? No.
How would he not?
Can you show me Kratos jumping? Can you show me Kratos jumping to space?
Bro, you're literally talking about. Listen, you're literally talking about the strength of a Hulk, the same strength that Hercules, all these gods have naturally. You're not saying, and he's a god of. You guys are so screwed now. He's the god of strength. If the god of strength can't jump to outer space, which mind you doesn't matter because there is claims that it doesn't matter about space. You're telling me that the Red Hulk can jump to space with Thor and with his hammer, drag him with his own, literally dragged the nigga in outer space with his own hammer, took it from the nigga and slapped him, holding his breath. And that's
it goes to show you. It goes to show that there's multiple ways to take his hammer. Space is just one of them. Worthiness is the main one. Magneto wielded it because he could control the Uru metal. There's ways around it. And we're saying that,
right?
But we're not saying that he'll take the hammer and jump. He doesn't need to. I think he's worthy enough to wield that hammer. The same way as Beta Ray Bill was able to wield his hammer because he's the top of his race. Kratos being the god of war and the god slayer of his pantheon, I think he was able to pick it up. I don't think he would have too much fucking issue.
That would have been an argument that BMT would have had to make, though. He didn't make the argument, and then I would counter it with he's not worthy. He did address
it by saying that multiple people is taking your weapon and use it against you.
And
then he said that nobody's taking his weapon, and that's a fact. It's true.
He's ignored the concept.
How would you? Let me hear this, because again, like you're saying, well, then he would have to do this. You didn't present none of this shit. So if you're saying that, oh, I would say he's not worthy. Please tell us, how would he not be worthy? Because there is no quantifiable fact of why Thor is even fucking worthy. So tell us why.
You'd have to the plot.
He lost his worthiness after Nick Fury whispered a few words into his ear.
And you know what he whispered? Because I know what he whispered.
He said,
"Oh, fucking matter." He lost it.
No
God is worthy, and he got to his mental.
He said, "No God is worthy."
You want to know what he said?
Tell us.
He said, "Gore is right."
Gore is right. Gore is right.
That's all he said.
All gods are not worthy. No God is worthy.
Gore
That's what he
is
said.
right.
Bringing Gore up. Gore technically is like just a regular fucking mortal. He got a hold of a god weapon and was able to catch phase with 3 iterations of Thor's.
Because you have to know what the AllBlack is. Trust me. Hey, that's my name, brother.
The AllBlack is a masterful weapon. It's amazing.
Bonded with it. He's not just a mortal anymore. He's one with the sword. That's why he's able to do what he's able to do.
Let me tell you your biggest flaw.
Why didn't you use that
I think it's a character flaw. Go ahead.
Which one?
Go ahead. Before I say what I say.
The Gore scan. Didn't you send me a Gore scan?
Yeah, him wipe it out the universe.
So basically, like I was saying earlier, bro, before round 3, the comments gave you personally, for surely, so much fuel to use that you kind of overlooked on numerous occasions. We understand you had the scans. Like Khan said, with the scans, we believe that Thor will win easily. It's just the presentation in the argument. You feel me? You weren't able to stand on or stand behind anything that BMT was kind of throwing at you besides anything. Say what?
I feel like I'm saying, like, if you can acknowledge that I win with feats, which is the main part of my argument.
But that's not everything in a debate.
But okay, then, so what is your judgment rubric? What rounds did I win? What points are getting assessed?
I give you round 2 for sure. I know you. I feel like you took
right. So, and by that logic, he wins round 1 just by having more weapons. That doesn't make sense.
Honestly, I don't give. Yes, you want to know why he won? Because you used one fucking weapon, bro.
Exactly, but that has no weight on who would win in a versus match.
But you can use a weapon. A weapon that has flaws, bro, versus 2 other weapons that he has that can't be taken away from him. You literally used a weapon that has flaws, and by you doing that, BMT countered that with the flaws. He presented the flaws.
But the context of the flaws are ignored.
They're not ignored.
They are. Why can Captain America pick up Mjolnir? Because we all know Captain America is worthy. Why
we
was
didn't even bring up the fact that it matters that he picked it up. The nigga beat him without Mjolnir. He beat Thor without Mjolnir. He's a regular nigga.
You said what?
He beat Thor without Mjolnir. A regular human with just high combative feats beat a Odin Force Thor with just hands. He
didn't even drop a scan supporting such. He sent an article. But he still supported something. You didn't support none of this shit. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It can be as false as he wants it to be.
Here's the problem. The problem is that you're basing your argument off of ego. You're basing it off of ego. Let me tell you why. You're telling us how to judge. You're telling us how you should win. You're telling us what he should have done in the debate. And literally, you have multiple times. You told us how, okay, well, I should have won off top just because I won the feet round because I have better scans. And we're telling you by argument, you lost across the board. All three of us said by argument, you lost across the board. It doesn't matter. The point is that we're all saying you had the better skins and you didn't use them. You had better weapons. You didn't use them. And the fact that you're saying
across the board,
stop.
Break it down.
Stop. Then you said on top of that, so is Kratos worthy? And then there are multiple scans showing, doesn't matter whether or not the nigga's worthy, there are multiple ways of using how you don't have to be worthy to use Mjolnir. Whether if you're out of space or you're super strong, or you could be fucking worthy, or you can use Thor's fucking face to beat his fucking head into Mjolnir like fucking Hulk did, bro. So every fucking point that you brought up was used against you. Even in the episode's already over, bro. It's already over. You already lost. You went into saying, "Oh, well, let me explain why Red Hulk was able to do that," and it went against you again.
I want to say, hold on, All Black. Let me say something. To define worthiness in Marvel Comics, it's not as far as being worthy because you're a good person, you're at peace. Worthiness with Mjolnir is belief in self. Meaning, if you have any doubt within yourself, this is why Hulk can't pick up the hammer, because Bruce Banner and Hulk have doubt within themselves. You feel me?
Hulk picked that shit up with Bruce strength.
Huh?
I said Hulk picked it up with Bruce strength. He didn't need to be worthy. He struggled to pick that shit up. But he picked it up.
There's also other occasions where Hulk wasn't able to pick up the hammer and he tried to pick it up. But I'm saying it's like belief in self. Like Red Hulk, there's no doubt in him about himself. You feel me? We all know that he believes he's that nigga. He's thought he was that nigga that made him take down Hulk for years. You feel me? It's just worthiness and within self. You feel me? That Black Widow picked it up. She believes in herself. It's shit like that. I don't think worthiness is in Marvel Universe is defined by its definition in dictionary. But I was just saying that on the worthy part. That's why the hammer has been able to be used by multiple different people. You feel me?
So to Charlie's point, right? There are multiple rounds, right? So even with the round of being said, right, why that didn't matter. As we said, he didn't even thoroughly explain his scans. They were just pictures. You have to be able to thoroughly explain why your scans matter. We both know as comic book nerds, oh yeah, this nigga got some scans. But the way he presented it was like low feet. They were high feet, and the way he presented it was like, oh yeah, so that's that. And he moved on. He didn't harbor on why the feet were so dope. We literally all said in every single judge. Not BMC. Excuse me, that's me. Drew said, and fucking Battle Junkie said, bro, you're not elaborating. We all said that. So as a debater, he was flawed in how he presented his evidence. Yes, the evidence is nice, but if you're not able to argue why this evidence is good, then you're going to lose the fucking round. I got him losing a round, and then on top of that, with the rebuttal that BMT came with is that inside of Mjolnir is an actual spirit, which is why it's so powerful, bro. It's a storm that is a spirit, which is why it's so powerful. And Kratos has a weapon that can pull the fucking spirit out of the fucking hammer. So that was the hardest fucking rebuttal that he came with.
That doesn't equate.
And every time and that's what I'm saying. That's why I say you're operating out of ego, because you're just telling us what can and what cannot.
No, because if I try to just what I said from the beginning.
You should have said that in your rebuttal when he brought it up, but you're bringing it up after.
That's what I was just about to say. We actually multiple times give you a hint that you weren't given enough information. Like, are you doing it?
BMT himself has never said, I'm going to use my soul hooks and snatch the soul out of Mjolnir. That was not his statement.
Yeah, he literally said it. I brought it up right after he said it.
Mjolnir. He did not say he's going to snatch the soul out of Mjolnir.
He literally said that because Mjolnir is made out of the elemental magic, just like the Titans, he would be able to pull it out.
But that's wrong,
bro. All Black, I think that's when you fell out.
I said he can give false information, and because I can't dissuade it, it can stand as valid. The hammer is
Mjolnir.
It's Uru.
Is Mjolnir sentient?
Is Mjolnir sentient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's an elemental force, right?
He was on your side the whole debate. Now
he's an elemental storm. He's an elemental force, just like the Titans.
No, he's not like the Titans.
But what's the difference?
Because he's not God of War. It's Marvel.
Yeah, but we're taking one with sentience and one that's an elemental and putting them together, and then you have a Titan that's made out of the same shit.
Does the elementals God of War have
follows?
Souls? I'm asking, do the elementals?
Yeah, he ripped one out of the Titan. That's right? What he said.
I'm asking you. They were able to rip the soul out of the physical body. The Titans have a physical body, correct?
So what's Mjolnir the hammer?
Huh?
Is Mjolnir a hammer, the physical body of Mjolnir, the manifestation of the storm, encased in the hammer, the physical form? He could take the soul, which is a storm, out of the physical hammer and make that shit just a regular ass hammer.
No,
that's what his argument was, and you didn't address it. But that's what we're saying.
That's like saying, okay, I have a box, right? I have something inside the box. I can take something outside that box. Now, if I wanted to take the fibers that are making that cardboard up and remove them, I cannot do that. Mm-hmm. He can remove Mjolnir or an entity, a soul specifically, which Mjolnir isn't, from its physical body, which would be removing something from the box. He is not actually affecting the entity that is the box.
No. Your same analogy. Mjolnir, the hammer. I'm just gonna call it the fucking hammer from now on because this shit's hard to say. The hammer is the box, right? In your analogy, right? The storm is the thing that you can. No. I'm asking you for clarification in your analogy that you just used right now. The box, you have a box. There's something in it. You can take it out. But you're saying that he can affect the thing that's in the box. Because my argument is the box is the hammer itself. The storm is the thing that's inside the box. Now, Kratos has a tool to go inside that box and take whatever the fuck that's in that box that makes it special out, leaving the husk, which is the box, alone. That's my argument. You feel me? Like you see what I'm saying?
I get what you mean, but I guess the best way that I would like equate it, the reason I don't see it equating is because like you know the what is it, Tartarus, the cage of the Titans. That's basically removing the Titan from Tartarus. Is the equivalent of taking Mjolnir out of Mjolnir, the hammer. It's not taking. No. It's like removing it from the environment. It wouldn't be. It's not affecting it.
How would it not? If Mjolnir only listen, the power of Mjolnir all comes from the entity inside of Mjolnir. It's not because of the fucking hammer itself. The hammer itself is just Uru metal that was enchanted by Odin. That was enchanted by Odin to trap the actual power that's inside that Odin wasn't even able to use himself. So how are you saying that it doesn't matter if he pulls the spirit out if the whole premises of why the hammer is powerful is because of the entity inside?
The premise is, I'm saying it's not. We had different analogies. That's what I was trying to explain to Battle Junkie. It's that basically what he would be doing is removing the Titan from Tartarus, not removing the Titan's soul from the Titan. You would be taking Mjolnir out of its entrapment, out of its cage. Like you said, Mjolnir is not the hammer. He is inside the hammer. There's no soul to remove from the hammer, but there's a being in there. There's an energy source. So what I'm saying, like I said, yeah. And even then, Mjolnir exists outside of the hammer.
Real quick, outside the hammer, if the fucking storm that's inside the hammer, if it were to get released, do you think Thor would be able to just control that storm by itself?
Yeah, I've showed the scan. He would literally smack daddy in that motherfucker.
Okay, and then real quick, follow-up question. Have you played any of the God of War series?
Yeah.
So you do know about the hooks of Hades, right? When the hooks of Hades takes you out, where does the soul go? Does it just dissipate, or does it go inside the soul, or inside the actual weapon?
It would go inside the weapon. But that's if he brought that argument, then I would argue resistance.
But here's the thing, AllBlack. He addressed it in such a subtle point, but you answered with nothing.
That's probably because when I want to counter things directly, I can't. We have to wait out the long term. I'm not gonna cap. You see, I rant a bit because I miss a little bit of shit. It's hard to address every single thing.
No. I feel you. That was kind of the way we were judging the thing. Like, he would address some stuff, and then you would be like, "All right, you know what this is already." It was taking like if you were to do like a high school presentation, and then a kindergarten came up and then showed you his show and tell. The show and tell is objectively better. Like, the kid showing you fucking a Ferrari, but he's like, "Yeah, here's the car. You know what it is." End the presentation. Back to the other kid who's talking about doo-doo shit that he brought into class, but he's so fucking fascinated and how it could be applied in different ways. You feel me? Like, and again, we all knew that the Ferrari was better, but we were more fascinated with the piece of shit.
So, but then can I ask?
I mean, I'm not calling Kratos a piece of shit. I love fucking Kratos.
And the stuff that's invalid still stands because it's his argument. That's bullshit.
What you mean?
Like, there was a lot of stuff that was either inaccurate or false, yet you guys did not nag him for that.
We didn't nag it because that was your job.
I did. I said he was wrong about the hammer.
Job.
He was wrong about the hammer. He was wrong about Helios's head. I pinpointed his durability. I quoted his region.
I took those into account. The Helios thing, I gave that a point to you because, yeah, I don't believe that he was actually carrying a son. I wanted you to pry more onto that. Like, you did say, yeah, it wasn't destroying the shit while he was using it in game. That was a negative for him. I gave that a point to you, but you wasn't picking apart his arguments the way other than saying, "Oh, that's wrong. Oh, you're lying."
Why does his region stand when I said that Thor's lightning can atomize him? When you're atomized, you cannot regen.
Yeah, remember, I voted for you, bro.
He literally said that he was stabbed with an immortal sword, where even the
It
sword,
bypasses durability. That means his durability is not taken into
but
account.
even then it couldn't kill him. And in lore, it said that unless Kratos wants to die, he cannot die. So even what you just said, he brought up a point that went against what you were saying.
What's the point? You're using two different types of abilities. A hax does not equate to an ability. If I have a hax that if I have a hax that erases you from existence, I can't erase you any harder.
But he also tried to wipe him from existence.
You said what?
I said that he talked about how nothing is more powerful than fate, and the nigga beat fate too. So even with that example, I don't know.
I'm gonna answer all black, but BMT should have answered it. But when I think the way death works in both the video games and the Marvel universe is different, especially for Thor and Kratos. When they die, it's not like their body gets left there. They get instantaneously transported. Kratos goes to wherever the fuck region he's in. He went to Hades, right? And then he escaped Hades. When he escaped Hades, he had a physical body. It wasn't like his body was left there. He had a junk. Like his body got transported because he's a god. You feel me? So he gets atomized. The thing is, Thor doesn't have a way to keep Kratos down, and Kratos has multiple. Like when he was in God of the recent one, when he went to fucking the Norse hell, he was like, "Yo, I'm scared. Have you ever been to hell?" He's like, "Which one?" It doesn't fucking faze him because he has. I'm just answering from my perspective.
I want to address that point if he would have brought that up. So this is what I mean with quantifiable things. So you say he can survive in hell, right? So I was like, okay, how hot is hell or whatever? There's no, he didn't scale it. I showed you that Thor could have trapped him in a forge with 5 billion suns. That amount of heat would have atomized Kratos. There was no rebuttal. And that's what I'm saying. Those are things that I'm saying that I feel like are getting overlooked. I've addressed his region.
They didn't get overlooked. So what we said already, you won rounds where you missed, especially the feet round. You won that. Closing argument and opening argument, you literally debunked yourself.
You saying I'm debunking? So you're gonna have to stand on that. Why? Are you, how are you?
This is crazy.
We just said it 100 times. Literally, the people in the comments that were defending you during the whole live are now telling you where you went wrong.
They have nothing to do with me asking the judges. I'm asking y'all opinions. So you're saying the Red Hulk was an anti-feat. I showed you the context of it. When there's zero gravity, you can lift things.
But your whole argument was, how is Kratos gonna whip this nigga in space? And then you debunked yourself of why you could do it.
Okay, Khan, has Kratos jumped to space? Can Kratos jump to space? How is Kratos going to get Thor in space?
The argument to me that BMT was making was not the wielding his shit. It's just that he can lose his shit. The only weapon that you gave Thor to use against him in this battle, I couldn't use anything else. You gave him one weapon, and he showed us in his argument the way that multiple people in multiple ways took his weapon away from him. Doesn't mean he has to use it against him. He has his own weapon to use. But if he disarmed Joe nigga, and he has 18,000 weapons, he showed he had a list of 50 different weapons of God tier level weapons that he could use against Thor, and showed multiple ways that Thor could lose his hammer. Red Hulk being one of them, just jumping into space.
Grabbing
right?
shit.
Like,
battle zone. How does that how does that denote Thor's ability to recall the hammer?
Because if one everybody's argument, even in the chat, was that there's no reason why Kratos wouldn't be worthy. And he is, you can see that he couldn't recall it back from somebody else who's worthy. You feel me? Like he said, the hammer is is for the streets. Everybody's just fucking grab that hammer. You feel me? Like, yo, that shit's been around the block. And if Jane fucking Foster took the hammer. It showed in the fucking movie that he tried to fucking grab her back. It
but are
wouldn't
we
go back
going
to
to
him.
talk about the context of why she could do such?
Because it found her worthy.
Leukemia? Does Kratos have leukemia? No.
Does it fucking matter?
Yeah, because it matters why she's worthy.
Did Black Panther have leukemia when he picked it up? Did Silver Surfer have?
I want to
Silver Surfer picked it up.
That was a bad argument because, as we see,
Miles Morales just picked it up. Like
Red Hulk with it didn't become a Thor. Jane literally became a Thor. You know she's worthy because she became a Thor. Red Hulk did not become a Thor.
The enchantment on there is literally Thor's a title. That's all it is. If you're worthy to pick it up and transform you, like Storm was able to pick it up. It transformed her twice. She was able to pick it up twice. One time it didn't transform her because she was using her power over the elements to pick it up. Second one, she transformed into full-on fucking God of Thunder. But like it depends on what you consider worthy at that time. And God level tier Kratos, I think it's pretty worthy.
I would say Kratos is not worthy because we know of his origin and the fact that he has to burden his sins on his skin, being painted white in ashes. That's
like he's redeeming, like he's a fallen hero, like Thor. Thor killed multiple thousands of people in his heyday too. Like let's not say like Thor was a squeaky
but that's
God.
not
He was conquering other people.
Who is they?
That's a major part of Kratos' character.
Was that?
Hey, like,
That's
so
a major
wait.
part of Kratos'
So we're
character.
overlooking.
His sins literally being pinned on.
Now I brought up when we brought up the weaponry. This is why I'm not sure if my opponent was listening. I brought up Icarus' wings and Poseidon's trident. It doesn't matter if he's on air, land, space, no matter what. And I said it. If y'all listen to what I said, it does not hinder Kratos' movement.
Dude, can you show him
that long time ago?
BMT,
Dude,
can you show
literally,
hold
on. Dude, he literally used the wings of Icarus and was flying around up around Olympus with the wings. You know how big Olympus is?
All right, so then can I use the lore of the
literally
Icarus
he
rings?
has done.
I will use the lore of the Icarus rings. The
Hold on,
Icarus
hold on,
rings
bro,
can
hold on,
only
wait,
fly up
I'm
so high there. Is that fact?
Hold on, wait. So, wait. Yes, Kapachi. But see, the thing about the Kapachi, and I hear you, bro. See, even your own people that listen. Kratos has fought Titans. You know how big a Titan mass is? That never stopped Kratos from throwing hands with guys bigger than Galactus and killing them.
That's cap.
That has never stopped. I mean, y'all can pull up the lore.
That's cap.
My bad. I didn't mean that.
See, God of War 3 and God of War
is the
PSP. He put they don't have that problem. Thank you. They don't have that. He doesn't have those problems. Like, you know how many people can fly on Kratos and he still killed them?
The comments
he still has killed them. Like, so listen, flying has never been. You know, people have flied around on Kratos. Fucking, and watch this. Hades' wife could fly with wings. Kratos still caught that and killed her. Like, Kratos still caught her, the queen of the underworld, and killed her. And she was flying, doing all kind of aerial attacks on him, and he still caught her. Like, I mean, the same amount of creatures. Like, understand this. He has the blade of Olympus on his back. That is a universal, omnipotent weapon that ended the war of the Titans. The Titans span far beyond eons. That one weapon, hold up now, I listen to you. That weapon can go bar for bar with the Yggdrasil tree. And Kratos has that. And mind you, he took that same weapon and stabbed himself with the damn weapon. And
died.
So wait. Tell me when your guy takes his own weapon and kills himself with it and it don't kill him. When your guy can beat immortality itself and not die, because see, other creatures know my guy can't die. I've never heard them say your guy can't die. Only thing that
Okay, so
your guy.
So BMT, multiple times we've brought up Kratos' piercing durability. He got pierced by the motherfucking he got pierced by the wooden stick, and then he got pierced by the sword. You said the sword is universal and omnipotent. It's not omnipotent because omnipotent doesn't exist in this media, in the sense that we like to claim. Be for real. Omnipotent, so that sword is everywhere and all being and all powerful. That's not the case. If it was omnipotent, then the sword can't lose in a sense. It doesn't have sentience. It's not all seeing. It's not all being. Like omnipotent. That's a tough word.
So Charlie, this nigga had every Thor at his arsenal.
I have what? No, I had current Thor, not composite. No. Oh, I can ask BMT. BMT. No, BMT. When we started this. No, I'm asking you a question. I didn't say that. Open your ears. When we started this shit, did I not say, oh, let's do composite to make it even? And then you said, no, let's do game.
No, man. No, fuck that. The two judges right here, they made the rules. You tried to change, this motherfucker tried to change the rules 4 times for the debate.
And tell them what I tried to change it to. And tell them what I tried to change it to.
So, he tried to change the rules, Battle Junkie, 4 times in his favor.
Tell him what I changed.
And he also tried to change from Thor to Gore, the God Slayer. He didn't have faith in Thor. He wanted to go Thor, the God Slayer. I said, no, dude. Easier. Let's run the fade with Thor. Goofy, am I lying? Am I lying, Goofy? Am I lying? He didn't have faith in his own fucking character.
No, it said it'd be easier.
I never that one time changed.
It'd be easier. I mean, this is what I'm saying, though. You got to listen to those on. You realize you lost heat-wise. They just said you're charismatic.
You didn't even name your other. You didn't even tell us. Wait. I got a question. Why did you never bring up your other weapons? Why did you never bring your other weapons?
When Mjolnir can destroy an omniversal being, why would I need another weapon? You having more weapons does not mean anything.
So hold on, wait. So I brought up. You got the other guys who listen to Thor, who have that respect. If a warrior has a weapon that is for a situation, should they not use it?
Because it's composite, Charlie. They get everything that they.
It wasn't composite though.
But run back the whole video. You literally brought up multiple different Thors. None of those Thors are the same. So don't do that.
You talking about this video? All the Thors that I brought up are the current Thor.
That's not true.
All the Thor is the current Thor. That is true. Name one Thor iteration that I haven't used. That I used. BMC. Name one Thor iteration that isn't current. All Father Thor is the current Thor.
This dude used different types of Thors, man. I showed. Hold up. I showed.
Don't let me, bro. It's literally in the chat where we said composite Thor. So if you want me to just screenshot that and put it in the video to make it work for you, I'll do that.
If you have the little part with Thomas, when we were doing all that shit with Thomas, I even asked BMC. I said, "Oh, let's do composite so it's easier, so that he can pull from the lore." Which he still did this shit, but y'all not gonna denote him for it.
Go ahead.
Wait. That's bullshit. I actually told y'all the actual references from the fucking game. Nigga, you didn't even told us a comic book. I'm the one showing comic books where he gets his ass kicked and which guys are doing it and how they were doing it. You said, well, he lost the Phoenix. Well, I showed the Phoenix 5 beating his ass. You said, well, he lost Captain America. I showed that.
Show it. You showed a single article.
Dude, I showed you all your losses.
You use somebody's whole written article to describe it. And like I said, those articles are missing context.
What Thor is that?
What Thor is that?
What Thor is that?
616.
So what Thor did you say that you were doing the whole time?
The current Thor.
All right, bet.
Is that not current?
Look,
that's
bro.
Current Thor.
How come you haven't brought up his destroyer armor, arm?
Bro, Jupiter, bro. I'm saying that Galactus is powered by
omniversal.
I know he's multiversal, bro. I'm
Hold on, what Thor is this?
Classic Thor.
That's classic Thor.
That's first Thor before the soft reboot. That's first Thor before the soft
reboot. It's 616.
That's crazy.
That's still continuity.
I mean, that's
the same
technically
continuity.
still the
Same
same
Thor.
Thor, but they gave him a
That's a
soft
different
boot.
Thor, my G.
It's the same Thor. 616 continuity. That's specifically why they have the labelings. 616.
I was using Kratos from I used Kratos from the PlayStation 1, 2. I used Kratos from PS2. I used God War 1, 2. I used the PSP. All his weapons. Now you said, well, I use more weapons.
No, they said the strategy and application.
I use stuff that can be used to counter. I use stuff that can be used to counter Thor.
Like what?
Battle Junkie noticed that. Yuffie noticed that. Juan noticed that. I use stuff that countered your nature of your character. You never told me one thing that you used that counters my nature.
I did. BMT. Can Kratos survive being atomized?
Huh?
Can Kratos survive being atomized?
Bro, the nigga has been sent to hell.
That doesn't answer my question. Being in hell doesn't atomize you.
You gotta hit the motherfucker. Listen,
which Thor can.
I'm gonna show you this. You was stabbed by the blade of Olympus.
Answer the question. This one
I think
goes
that's
on a
worse than anything.
Can he survive being atomized?
Hold on, no, I'm telling you, dude. I just brought up to you. Stabbed by the blade of Olympus. There is no worse weapon to get stabbed by.
Is that being atomized?
There is no other worse weapon.
Is that being atomized? Can he survive being atomized?
You do know he got stabbed by the blade that wipes out.
He said earlier in the debate of how he survived hell with no armor, with his shirt off and everything like that, while somebody like Odin couldn't survive hell. So saying somebody could be atomized by the fires of that, when people of your lords can't survive the fires of his lord, there's a debate.
I just showed you Thor sitting there with 5 billion suns.
Yeah, you said him putting people in that. You said he can put Kratos in that in your debate. In your debate, that's what you said.
So how is he not withstanding that type of heat? I actually gave a number. He just
because he brought up Odin. What I'm saying is he brought a rebuttal to yours, and you didn't bring a rebuttal to his, because we're talking about a debate. Doesn't matter if your scans are saying that, oh yeah, Thor is this capable. When he brought up rebuttals, when he brought up all these things, you did not show how Kratos could lose. He showed multiple ways how Thor could lose, bro. It's just a fact. And the niggas that support you in your own group chat, your own group is telling you how you
talking
lost.
about outside people. They have no relevance on what's
everybody. Me, Jude, Battle Junkies, BMT, the dudes in the comments.
You have multiple times said that I won via feats, yet my delivery
because that's one round. That's one round. Just to say, and that's one round. That's one feat. That's when we did. Bro, that's when we did. When we do armor when we did armor and weapons, you lost that, my guy.
Yeah, so I have more weapons. I win.
That's like when my nigga LeBron scored 45 points in the game and still lost.
Facts.
He had the most points in the game, but he still lost.
Yeah, so you can have 45 weapons and still lose.
It's not about being charismatic or anything like that. Yeah.
And there's people in the comments, bro, that weren't even here for the whole video, and everyone has said you handicapped yourself by feeling yourself a little too much, thinking that you didn't need the arsenal that you could have used.
Yeah. It's not about being charismatic.
Have you ever watched the presidential
I lost
debate?
round 1, which is a round based on weaponry. I didn't lose that because my weaponry was weaker. I lost it by you guys.
You lost it because you chose not to use you used a defective weapon.
Again,
he capitalized off of that. He literally capitalized off how defective that weapon is.
Again, we showed you how you lost because the first round was weapons. You chose one, and he showed how to take it away from you.
Via what?
That's it. We showed you multiple ways.
The soul shit doesn't stand.
No, not just the soul shit. He just showed
he's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get it.
He showed you how.
Hey, finish.
No. It wasn't just the soul shit. he showed you that Thor loses his weapon often. Like, if that's the only weapon you gave him, he showed that it was very easily. He's very easy to disarm. Not anything else. There's multiple ways to disarm Thor. If you're going against somebody and you had multiple weapons at your disposal, you only chose one. That's all the ones. We know the comic book. We know how many weapons that Thor has. You didn't bring up his belt. That doubles his strength.
So Battle,
you didn't bring up. You know what I mean? Yeah, go.
Why do you completely dismiss the recall? I showed you how fast he can recall the hammer. He can grab the hammer from the edge of the universe in moments. That means even if he's disarmed, he's going to get the hammer back.
So his
that how fast Kratos is. Who's to say that Kratos won't even, if he's worthy, who's to say when that hammer's coming back, this motherfucker don't put his hand out and grab that motherfucker and be able to wield it?
Okay, that's banking on a what if. What if he's worthy or not? We need concrete.
That's banking on a what if that fucking hammer can stand 10 fucking weapons that do crazy ass shit.
You said that can what?
Hey, bro. Hey, Drew, you ready?
I showed the feet of him.
I'm been ready, bro. 20 minutes ago.
How fast
20
he can
minutes ago.
Ready?
Hey,
man.
right, look, check it out.
Everybody get it right now, bro.
Hey, hold on. Hey, I want to thank everybody, bro, that tuned in. People who came here in the beginning, people came here in the middle, and those who came at the end, bro. We appreciate everybody in the comments, everybody that shared the video. I want to say thank you to Battle Junkies for coming at the last minute to be a judge. That was very dope of you, bro. I appreciate that. I want to thank BMT and All Black for coming in, bro, and be willing to be on the platform and, go at it like this and state their opinions and everything. That's very brave and very, dope for both of y'all. Damn, bro, this shit lasted way too long. I'm 20 minutes past over this shit. But yeah, man, you know me, man. Straw Hat Juicy, man. I'm here every Friday, bro. You can catch me at 8 p.m. Eastern Pacific time, 11 Eastern, 10 Central, wherever you at, you can catch us here, man. Shout out to Universal Debaters, man, for showing their colors, man. They did their thing in the comments. All Black is from the Universal Debaters group. He came and did his thing as well. You feel me? Shout out to BLERD Approved Gaming. Shout out to my boy Charlie for pulling up and giving his feedback as well. Make sure you guys follow everybody if you can. And I'm going to turn it over to my boy Battle Junkie.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. To both of the debaters, yo, congrats to both of you guys. It was a really dope battle between you guys. You guys shine some lights on some different types of feats that I didn't recall. And I hope you guys continue doing these more and honing and sharpening your tools. You know what I mean? Again, man, All Black, great feats. You just got not tie it together, but learn better arguments and how to address and pick apart the opponent's arguments and address that. I think that was what you're lacking. It's not showsmanship, or it's just there is a certain way and the dynamic to argue when it comes to actual debates. I think going forward, you'll be a beast with that shit.
I'm gonna just get
you already know. Fucking BMT came and you fucking owned the shit again. Had a favor going into this, and you changed my mind, man. You persuaded me, brother. Good arguments to both of you guys. I appreciate both of you guys. This is very entertaining. I love this shit.
BMT.
So we had a wager if one of us lost. Right?
I forgot about that.
I didn't forget shit. So you need to go pay. You need to pay the channel the fee because you lost. Go ahead and pay him up, bro.
TapN. You got it before I did.
No.
Yeah, he said I gotta go get the little homie a comment.
No, nigga.
Oh yeah, you did.
God of War did not forget, nigga. The God of War definitely did not forget, nigga.
You did though.
He begged it all. Yes, there was a wager. There was a wager.
He was supposed to buy a comic book for somebody. It's not cash. He's supposed to get a comic book to
right.
some young.
He said he didn't want to do that.
No, I said
he didn't want to do that.
kid gonna be salty.
You said he didn't want to do that. No, you said you don't want to do that, so I said donate to the channel.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
Okay. So he didn't want to do that, so I said then donate to the channel. Then you can at least do that, and that was my wager. I said if you're not going to
that wasn't what he said. He did.
I asked him about.
He was being cocky when he said that kid was going to be asked out because he thought he was going to win. So technically he didn't win. So now he does have to get the comic. He agreed with it, but he thought he was going to win, so he wouldn't have had to do it. But it was
right. But he didn't agree to do it though. So the
he did.
How are we gonna hold him accountable for buying somebody else's comic anyway? So I was
nigga, take a video.
Record
that.
I'll tell you
what. Put it on Snapchat. Tag us, nigga.
No. I'll tell you what. If he gets it, if he donates the money to the channel to allow y'all to do it, then guess what? It all works out. Yeah, let y'all do it. Let that be your content if y'all doing something like that.
I'm telling you, hey, God, put all your niggas in the chat. Y'all niggas not gonna beat me in no debate. You talking about?
Go ahead.
This is the platform.
Hey,
this is the platform.
That was because we wager. You can give that to the runners of this channel, so that way they can go get some comics and make a kid's Christmas. Let them get somebody and they can help it out. So go ahead and run them coins, please. Run them Asgardian coins towards the channel.
God Jupiter, if you want to come on the chat and run it and give this man a chance. Hold on, what he say?
Oh yeah, please put him on the chat, Con. Put him on
the chat. Hey, are you doing this again?
In the future, Jupiter, if you want to catch a versus fade, man, we can definitely line it up, bro. Just have y'all arsenal together. Y'all go win.
I got battle for days for y'all.
Oh, I want him too.
Like, we already just talked about this earlier. That one you did. Like,
who you want? You want
him? And Con, you know I want you, but you running low key. But you know what I want if I won.
I think it's
man, you talking the judges.
But this the thing though. I'm gonna print y'all the judging rubric.
Hey, I didn't even do that. That was Jew who just did the cap. What's funny about that is, right? You came in here calling out everybody, said you was gonna low diff him, says you could whip him with one scan, and you lost unanimously. The only reason I'm gonna keep it a ban, because I ain't no fake ass nigga. Jew gave you a vote out of sympathy, nigga. He told me, nigga.
Con, you saying all this, but you can't tell me you can't tell me an omniversal feat.
The niggas that had you up all said that you lost your argument, but you cocky enough to say that I'm running and I'm undefeated online, nigga.
You are running.
I'm undefeated, nigga. I'm undefeated. I have multiple. Nigga, I'm not gonna. You just lost. You lost. You lost. Nigga, stop.
All right, that's a side comment for the back room. Once we end the live, don't jump off. I would like to talk to y'all.
I want all y'all niggas in the comments.
BMT, please tell them where they can find you at, and then we go move on to All Black. I'm to tell them where they can find him at, and then we go close it with Con.
Thanks.
I was getting my shit looked over.
BMT. All right, go ahead, All Black. Tell them where they can find you at.
Oh man, y'all know I'm in and out the community. Catch me at AllBlackButcher. You know, I'll probably be throwing up some spicy shit or trolling you little niggas online.
That's exactly what he did during the debate. He trolled us. BMT, tell them where they can find you at real quick.
Tell me a simple feat.
Go ahead, BMT. Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all can find me at BMT, Business Minded Talk. Also, you can find me here with my brothers. I love debating. I love comics. I love anime. I love gaming. It's one of my passions. You can catch me over with the BLERD Cartel. Definitely, you guys, if y'all want to see more debates, support the channel, get the views up. Tell us what y'all want us to debate on. We want to see more contenders come up here. I want to see you.
Round two.
Hey, losers, be quiet, man. I want to see round two. We want to see more contenders, man. So, God, Jupiter, come on up here, man, and I want to see you definitely debate, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, he's trying to God Jupiter. He's trying to call you out, bro. But definitely, judges. I thank you for your fairness. Y'all definitely were trying to give a lot of leniency, and I respect that. And y'all were it helped. The judge was actually even trying to help out the debate. Was actually telling y'all what they wanted to see. I never
tap in.
The judge was actually trying to help the debate. I respected that because they even made me actually, oh man, I didn't capitalize on talking about the rage, on different other stuff, and that made me also recultivate my debating skills differently as y'all started speaking on things y'all wanted to see, and I had to be more mindful towards. So I think Straw Hat Juicy for the artwork, Con for organizing us, Battle Junkie for stepping in. He was an amazing judge. Even to my opponent, I hope to get to see you battle again. Next time, capitalize and take it more serious, man. Don't take it for granted. That Thor cockiness is what got Thor fucked up. So definitely got to work on that, man. That cockiness. That's one of Thor's biggest problems.
I respect it. I respect you for being able to get toxic and understand that we still human at the end of the day. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be on your platform, Battle Junkie, for stepping in. And, hey, you seem like a cool dude to me regardless. Thank you, Con and Jew, for the opportunity, and BMT for accepting it. And, I just hope they maybe look for it, continue to grow. And, I'm going to hand BMT another L. I don't care.
Another? Hey, Con, close this out.
I got one in there real quick.
Go to the back room and talk shit. God, Jupiter, and Kenpachi, we gonna send y'all a link for the back room, bro. But Con, close.
Yeah, come on, Jupiter, bring that bitch ass here, boy.
Ooh, shit, that's a word. All right, man, it's your boy, the Con Man, KJN_man.510. That's the debate. Catch me on Universal Debates. Catch me on What It Sound Like podcast, where you get your best reviews and interviews. Catch me on the BLERD Cartel. We doing well, man. Catch me on Bulletproof Entertainment on TapN No CapN, where basically if you're a blerd and you've seen it, then what's your opinion, man? And I'm just gonna say, man, any nigga that get whooped when a nigga only put in scans the last 5 minutes before live can't see me in no motherfucking debate. But y'all have a good night, man. Y'all have a good day.
Tell them niggas what the score is, 1-1 or 1-0. Fucking